that didn't work. I thought the chair would spin. Oh, man, I'm dizzy. That was a terrible introduction. It's going downhill. Hello, everybody. Hello, folks. My name is Ben, and welcome back to the channel. I apologize about that intro. Just as a quick shout out, I think you can probably all hear me, but for some reason, every live stream that I've done so far, the first 4-5 minutes are jumpy. The video is like really laggy, like jumpy. Trying to figure it out. I don't have the technological know-how to understand why it's doing that. But hey, that's not my problem. Well, it kind of is. But all I'm trying to say is bear with me because the frame rate will stabilize. I just got to move a lot and then all the bit rate just goes bananas. It's like, Christ, that's a lot of data. So if I get it all moving, move with me. If everybody could just move with me, the bit rate will, yeah, I know, Ian. I know, my dude. I know. That's what I'm just saying. Yeah, it's jumpy. It's jumpy. Ian says it's jumpy. It totally is. Hopefully it'll settle down very, very soon. It looks like it might be settling. It says that I've got an excellent collection now. I doubt it. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to live stream part 4. Part 4. This is ridiculous. We've got some wonderful people in the chat, some returners. We've got, of course, my dude Ian. Buddy. Hey, dude. Hi. We got Mahesh. Welcome back, good sir. Welcome back. We have, of course, Abdul. Hello. And, of course, we have the hero, the legend, Dan. Dan the man, savior of Stream 2, I want to say. I think we're still jumpy. Can somebody in the chat just let me know if we're still jumpy? Because if so, that's not great. I might even open that door just so the air can flow better to the router. Well, because that's how technology works. Let's open the door. Let's see if the router can find me. It's not how technology works. Nobody learned technology from me. That's just altogether a bad idea. Hello everyone. Welcome back. It is an absolute honor to be back in front of you again. Part 4, live streaming, doing some silly code and some silly jokes. In fact, hang on, let me take the mic with me as I go. I can't take it all the way, but I did neglect to take this bad boy out of the drawer. So now it is out of the drawer. The jokes are back. And Abdul says it's still jumpy. That's not great. How do I fix this? It usually stopped by now, the jumpiness. If anybody knows how I can fix the jumpiness in live, suggestion. The stream's current bitrate is is higher than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that you use a stream bitrate of 4.5, but I'm using like a 6 bitrate. I don't know. We'll keep moving and we'll hope, like it always does, that it clears itself up. Apologies about the jumpiness. Please bear with me and I hope you can hear me. And I hope when we go to the screen anyway, at that point, hopefully it will be gone. Right then, stream part 4. I've got just 3 quick announcements before we dive into actually any coding. First of all, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Please do not fret if this is your first live stream participation, because I will do a very quick recap of what we've done so far in our lovely MVVM recipe app with Jetpack Compose. So I'll do the recap and make sure that we're all up to date, up to speed. And before that, I'd like to just do a couple of shout-outs. First of all, before we do the shout-outs, how are you? How is everything? To reduce jumpiness, remove the spring from your... Abdul, come here. Abdul, it's your turn. Come here. Join me over here, Abdul. Everybody else can just take a minute. Abdul, come here. You're all right, Abdul. You'll do just fine here, my friend. That's good. For those of you who are not looking at the chat, Abdul says, to reduce jumpiness, remove the spring from your chair. Ba-dum-tsh. Ba-dum-tsh. Very good. Oh, knock the camera. Everything's going wrong today. Abdul, that was wonderful. Everybody, if you could just please give Abdul a remote clap, because that's the kind of humor that we need here. That's 10 times better than anything in this book. So, yeah, Abdul, you're on the right form. Louis, good sir. Welcome, Louis. Hello. In fact, I think it's Dan, isn't it? Dan, in fact, we'll come back to that in a second. Dan the man, the savior. Something that you did in the past between the last live streams is actually going to affect this video. We'll talk about it in just a second. But before I do the announcements, hello, where are you from? Talk to me. Get interactive in the chat. I like to pester you lot a lot, and it's really good to see already a bunch of people here in the chat. Ask me questions. There's no There's no wrong questions. I'm so serious about that. This is a super, it's going to sound really cheesy, but this is a super safe place. Ask questions. I probably can't answer them. I'm an idiot. But ask questions. Pester me about what I'm doing. Maybe give me suggestions, because today I might need it a lot. But yeah, just get involved. Have a little chat. There's also one thing that we've been doing throughout this streaming process. This joke book. Let me get a little close-up of that. Tasty. That's got to be not suitable for work somehow. This joke book has pages numbered 1 to 280-ish. And what I'm saying is, if I see a number in the chat referring to a page number from this book, I'll pause at some point and read a joke from that page for you. Just for you. Just for you, for free. For free. It's free real estate. Couldn't not. So yeah, put page numbers in the chat and I'll read jokes eventually. Feel free to start putting them now. There's no better time to start than now. And that is the upfront notes. Now let's go into the session notes. To start with, let's just jump over to the old, yeah. Am I over here now? Yeah, awesome. Wrong one. Next one. Yeah. I am on Super Peer as of Zeus has said 7. Zeus, welcome. Hello, good sir. 7. Zeus is on my... This isn't a real pen. This is a real pen. I'm going to put 7 on my little notes, and I'm going to read you a joke in just a second before we start. I am on Super Peer as of, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. The wonderful Mert put me on track for Super Peer, and to be honest, it's actually crazy. I had... I think it's like 5 Super Peer sessions so far. 3 of them were with people that I sort of knew already. Mert, Fatih, and another friend. But I've had 2 people that I've not met before the Super Peer session sort of book on sessions asking me about my career, some job advice, some stage advice, and we had some really good chats. Both sessions like took up the entire half an hour, and we both wanted to talk more. And they've been really, really good. So I don't know if it's interesting to anyone at all, but if you'd like to have a one-on-one session with me about any of these sort of topics down here, just a coffee in the chat, that's fine, 15 minutes, help with code or Git or any sort of thing. Maybe I'll look at a PR, or maybe I'll explain a Git process, or, you know, it doesn't need to be particularly about code or Git, but, you know, technically stuff. Or if you want career advice, you want to talk about your job, your sort of situation, compare it to mine, hear about some of my experiences to hopefully advise your own, or talk about stage advice and stuff. I don't know, like, I'm not saying I'm any sort of professional, but I'd like to help people become better presenters, better speakers, because, as I always say, we all have a story to share. I want to enable you to share your story in the best way possible. So, Super Peer, there's the address down, that way. There's the address down there. Super Peer, Ben Kadel, yada, yada, yada. I'm on the page here, so you can see how the interface works. You click one of those buttons, and you book a sesh. Nice and easy. Right, jump back to me. Yeah. Next notice is actually, this is the exciting one. Well, I mean, they're all exciting. I'm going to drag this screen onto the screen. I need to go back to the screen. I stuffed it up here. Go back to the screen. Here, this little window, I'm going to have open the entire time on my other screen. This is my current, if I refresh, my current in the bottom right subscriber count on YouTube. It is not important at all. It's just a fun little extra. I believe 4 subscribers is all we need to get to the big 3,000, the juicy 3,000. And I think we can do it in this stream. I'm going to stream for the next 2 hours and maybe a little bit extra. I'm going to try and refresh this often. And if we hit the big 3, then I'm going to get silly and we'll have a little live celebration together. We'll take a pause. We'll have a celebration. There was a cider here somewhere. I should only get the cider if it's been successful. So if you want to help get the cause going on this live... I just refreshed. Only live. I just refreshed the sub count. I just pissed somebody royally off. I'm so sorry. We just lost 1 sub. So now we have 5 to make up in the next 2 hours. It's not going to happen. I'll leave the cider in the fridge. It's unlikely to come out. But anyway, just a fun little extra just to keep you posted. If you want to help the effort, it's not an effort. Numbers aren't important. It's always just fun to look at and see how you're doing in terms of metrics, in terms of other people's eyes. The final notice I want to say, in fact, back to the screen, I stuffed it up once more, is actually to do with Dan in this chat and the thing that I was referencing earlier. Long story short, the repository for the code that we're working on, Disher, underneath my my GitHub username Cardelio, so Cardelio/Disher, /Disher is a repo on GitHub. Sorry, is what I'm trying to say. However, something interesting happened in the issues tab. People started suggesting things that we can do to this code base to keep coding it, because I'll give you the recap in a second, but we've done most of the 3 screens that matter for the Disher app, and now it's just about obviously making it prettier and doing some UI that I still need to do, but also expanding it and seeing what else we can do with it. And obviously by expanding it and doing other things with it, I can hopefully expose more Android-y, codey stuff to you. So that's a fun idea. And one of them jumped out to me. This one, local persistence caching by none other than Dan the Man, our hero with the plan. Dan the Man, our hero with the plan. If this thing ever gets big, we need Dan the Man, the hero with the plan, on a shirt. Daniel, please don't sue me. Anyway, Dan, and also, oh my goodness, Louis, sorry. Louis also backed up this idea, saying we should add local persistence caching, aka some storage on the phone. And I sort of took that and sort of digested it in my mind, and I thought, room database, an SQL database on the device where we can store things. So today's session, after we've done the recap, maybe done a little bit of compose, we're going to put room into this app. Exciting. So thank you, Dan. The point that I'm trying to make with all of this nonsense fluffery is there's already a bunch of other things that we can do with this app. I'm looking for your suggestions. Again, it's going to sound cheesy and lazy on my part, but if you want to try and suggest something for this Disher app that we can do in a future episode together, go to Cardelio Disher. The repository's in the link in the description of this video. Go to the issues tab and just suggest an issue. Just suggest something like, oh, maybe you should put pictures of kittens in the video. Kittens, Ben? Kittens? That was the first thing you could come up with? I'm disappointed. Kittens, whatever it is, put some feature that you'd like to see, something that you'd like to see in a future video, and that will be my source of inspiration for future videos. So today's video, as I said, bit of extra fluff before we get into it, but local persistence caching, room database, is today. So thank you, Dan. Thank you, Louis, for backing him up on that. That's today, when we get there. Right, those are my 3 notes. 3 notes done. Let's get into the old recap. First of all, my good friend Zeus, page 7. Here we go. Everyone settle in. It's very important that when I get this book out, when you see this book come onto the screen, everybody gets a little cozy. We get a little zoom. We get a little quiet. And we enjoy a joke. Zeus, this is for you. The topic is acting. Okay. No, that's really bad. That's bad. Okay, I haven't even read the full part of this joke. I'm just going to read it. Did you hear about the actor who fell through the floor? It was just a stage he was going through. It was just a stage he was going through. I mean, that's the kind of quality you should come to expect from this stream and this book. Actor falling through a stage. Anyway, Zeus, I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy with yourself. I don't want to have to pull people over for bad joke in the book numbers, but I will do it. I swear to God, I'll do it. All right, let's get to it. Thank you, Zeus, for the page number. Just to recap, if you want a joke read from this very awful joke book that I'm very fond of, please just write a page number in the chat from 1 to 280. Zeus is reacting with, well, Oh, I think it's like a, well, that's the kind of thing we need. Have I missed anything in the chat? Nothing in particular. A lot of people saying hello, nice, lols, laughing at my subscriber count misfortune. Let's just do a quick refresh. Okay, oh, hang on. I think I'm making connections here. Because Louis said, it's a joke. So perhaps, Louis? Louis, do I need to... Come here, Louis. Everyone else, just relax for a minute. Louis, come here. Are you all right? What's going on, man? Was that you? Was that you, Louis? Breaking my heart like that? What does it parents say? I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. I'm not really. I love you, Louis. Hang in there, buddy. Thank you for that. Anyway, we refreshed it and the 6 reappeared. So it's back to the original mission at hand. Yeah, we're still waiting on 4 subs, but we got all the time in the world, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. Numbers. Right, let's get to it. Am I on the right scene? I am indeed. Let's get over to Android Studio and have a little look-see. Let's open screen copy. So this is a wonderful terminal application called SCRCPY. In fact, SCRCPY, GitHub. Let's have a look. This one by Jenny Mobile. This is the thing that I always use because I have a physical device over here and I don't want to use an emulator. But I use screen copy to basically mirror the contents of that device's screen onto my screen so we can see it. Because I much prefer testing on a real device. It feels far better. So SCRCPY. Right, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was triggering that. So I trigger that. And now I have a mirror of the phone on my desk. And let's just have a very quick recap of what we did in the previous live streams, the previous 3. Zeus has just written, add screenshots to README, should open an issue. Actually, Zeus, that'd be great, yeah. If you would like to open an issue, you're welcome to do so. But yeah, screenshots of the actual UI is a really good and important addition to the README. So people know what on earth it is they're actually downloading before they download it and waste their time. Right, anyway, so to start with, this is our categories list. We have a categories list from the mealdb API. Just one more time. We've all seen it far too many times, so I won't sort of beat a dead horse about it. But this is the API we're using to get all sorts of different categories of food, dishes, and specific dish details. We've got the category list here. If I click on one of the categories, we set it up. So I click chicken, and now we have a bunch of dishes that fall under the chicken category. Wow, that is quite a bunch. Let's go for, if I pick Chick-fil-A sandwich, this is the details screen that I have yet to do the UI for it. It's not my fault. It's someone else's fault. I haven't figured out who yet, but it's definitely not my fault that it's not done. Wait, that's on you lot, actually. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, that's something we need to do today, maybe. We'll do just a little bit of it. I really want to get into the room stuff. And that's it. We've got multiple compose screens here. So each one of these is a composable function that contains a bunch of other composable functions. This element here that you're seeing like with an image and a name is actually a reusable function that we've used in multiple places. It's this single item. I'm going to zoom in, don't worry. It's this single item composable function that is rubbish. It doesn't look good at all, but it's quick and it's nasty and it gets it on the screen. And it's reusable. So it's used both in the category screen and the dishes list screen. And then when we hit the actual final details screen, that's the one that, well, yeah, still needs the work. There's the full of it. It's a single text if the dish is not null that we're getting. Excellent, but it does make another API call. So actually, from the categories list, right at the start, we go to the endpoint categories. Once we click on one of those, we ask for a specific what is it? Dishes service, I think. Dishes service. Nope, it's the iDishes service, not details service. There you go. We filter based on category using retrofit for our API client. And then finally, when we hit the details screen at the end, we go to details service and we use the lookup API. Again, all of these are on the mealdb API page, which again, link in the description down below if you want to look more at the endpoints here about that, if you're interested. Right, that's the brief recap. That's what we've done. Let's look at the code files. I want to try and keep this really quick. Again, it might be quite hard to see these. I don't think I can zoom in here now. But we've set up our app in a way that we have the category package, the detail package, and the dishes package all together, right? We have a UI package that's our compose themes that's automatically set up when we create this project. And we have a DI, dependency injection, for our Hilt dependency injection. If anybody wants a quick recap on the Hilt stuff, either message in the chat and I'll do a quick one, or check out the previous streams. And finally, each of the feature modules, each of the screens, if you like, have been set up in a way that they have their sort of base UI, their sort of screen, their composable screen, a view model, a use case, a repository, and the service layer for them. Okay? Easy cheesy. What I would like to do now is something a little bit maybe different, controversial. What would people like me to start with? Should I start doing some detail? In fact, it might be better if I start doing some detail UI just to actually put something on the screen that we can see, and then do some room database stuff. Does that sound okay? If anyone's got a problem with that, let me know. If anyone has a page number from the joke book, please post it in the chat and just get involved. Let's find out where some of your streaming in from. Is streaming in from a word? I think it is. Streaming in from. Where are you from? Say hello. Say where you're from, what you're doing. What do you work as Android developers? Have I got any Android devs in the actual audience? Or is it just a bunch of crazy people like me that's like, oh, Ben Kadel. Oh. Wait, can I slurp more obnoxiously? No. I'm wasting your time. I'm wasting your time now. I'm going to get on with some code. This is not what this channel's about. We're about professional getting on with stuff, right? Detail screen. All right, let's go. Let's get onto the detail screen. I'm going to zoom in. Java. Ian. Ian? I'm sorry. I need a moment. Ian, come here. Come here. Get over here. That's not acceptable, bro. Your bro Java's dead, all right? These people in this audience, they'll get you. If you say the word Java again, they'll get you. These are Kotlin people. They'll get you. Watch out. Watch out, Ian. I'm not angry. I'm just saying it for you, bro. I'm looking after you, all right? Wow. Bringing Java to a Compose stream. I do Java. They pay me money. That's fair. I can't argue with the numbers. So Zeus says, sadly, I haven't started with Compose yet. That's okay. We shall do some Compose. We'll try and explain it as we go. Have you already tried Material U now that you have a Pixel 6? I haven't tried actually like deving Material U yet. It looks terrifying because I'm so entrenched in like the old Material world that anything new is just like, oh no, save me. But I do need to get on that. In fact, that might be a good issue for the old repo. Ian, you are pushing me to the edge, bro. But if you get paid for Java, then that's fine. That's great. That's good. Let's do a quick sub count refresh. Dragging it out. Okay, fine. Nobody subscribe. I don't care. Yeah, so also there is one thing that I wanted to say with my material. No, that I think I answered the question. Sorry, Louis, I'm losing my marbles a little bit. I need to focus. Here we go, but not how to play with it yet. Louis, have you had to play with Material U? I mean, other than obviously the apps that I'm using on my phone, I haven't dev'd it. I assume that's what you meant. Have you? What have you learned? What have you seen? Is it good? Right then, this is our current UI. It's a text on screen. Let's click into our dish meal detail object to see some of the things that we can actually put on screen. So we've got the ID, we've got the area. I don't know what the area is about. I think the area is actually like originating in the world where that dish comes from. That might be quite nice to put on screen. We've got the category. It might be quite nice to put that on screen. Image source, I assume that's our image URL, so that's definitely something going on screen. And then we've got, oh, there's the thumbnail. That'll be the thumbnail, so that'll be the image. And then we've got these horrendous ingredients and measurement things. I'm probably not even going to touch those with a 10-foot long stick today because they are disgusting. In fact, I might, a little bit later, show you a JSON converter that I wrote for this in a previous world where it basically combines because these, for example, ingredient 1, I know this from past examples, ingredient 1 matches measurement 1. So it basically says how much measurement of ingredient 1 you should have. But what a disgusting way for their API to expose that. Do you know what I mean? That's horrendous. So I've wrote a JSON converter. Maybe we can pull it up in a minute. That basically takes all that and just smashes it together in something more readable. I forgot what it is. I think it's just a class or something. But yeah, we'll get there. So let's put some stuff on screen. Let's start with a thumbnail. That's always quite nice. I have no idea about like the design we're gonna do here, so we're gonna just sort of give it a go and see how gross it is. And I'm gonna try and keep this quick. At any point, if anyone's bored as hell of just seeing some compose happen, let me know. We'll switch to Room. But I have an idea what we're gonna use Room for. So if I get that UI bit onto the screen, then we can start doing some stuff. Okay. Do something, Ben. Right, let's first of all start with a column. So we're talking Compose now. So in Compose, you have as a standard columns and rows. Columns will lay out all of the children. And when I say children, I mean the bits in between the curly brackets. So in case, in this example, these two text blocks, it'll lay them out vertically, one underneath the other. The alternative is a row, which will lay them out horizontally, one after the other, okay? But for this example, I want a column. And we're all happy there. I'm not going to stick any modifiers on it yet. Let me put in the string area just so that we can verify that that is actually what I think it is, the area. Let's just see, what else did we want? We wanted the thumbnail, I think, right? But that needs to be an image. So just for saving time, we're going to go to dishes screen. In fact, the single item, this image composable, sorry, I should zoom in, shouldn't I? This image composable, I'm going to copy. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to... What am I doing? I've lost my marbles. There we go. I'm going to paste it here. There we go. Paste it in there. I've just lost my mind for a very brief second. So this image composable is something that we've had before. The image composable obviously is a compose node element that we can use. And the image obviously is the image, like a text would be a text. However, we've added this remember image painter in. This is a little bit of an interesting one. This is from a library called Coil, which is essentially a network image loading library. It's awesome. It's easy. All I have to do is wrap this remember image painter and give it our URL here. So it's.streamil thumbnail in there. It also requires that I add the experimental Coil API thing. So what I can do here is if I add the experimental annotation to the function here, that'll be fine, but then wherever I use details screen in the rest of the app, it'll complain. So instead, what I like to do is add the opt-in one and give it the same experimental Coil API, give it the same thing exactly, and that will get rid of, as you can see, this image here and this warning here, and won't propagate that warning up the chain either. But yeah, it's fine. So we've got the image in there. It's the thumbnail. Let's just throw some other stuff on the screen and see what else we get. String tags. I don't really give a damn about that. Category ID, date modified, drink alternative. Let's have a look at what that is. Ugh, gross. String source, string YouTube. Maybe they're putting like YouTube videos as sort of options here. Let's have a look at what that drink alternative was. Right. Excuse me. All right, what is this? What is this? It's an any. Interesting. Maybe as part of one of the what was I think it was lookup, wasn't it? Lookup. This one. So we're gonna just to get an idea of one of the responses here, just to see. Excuse me. Excuse me. There we go. I missed out a W. Not raw. JSON. Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look at this drinks alternative thing. I don't see it anywhere. Drink alternative, null. Great. Really helpful, insightful. Oh, sorry, some people have been replying. Louis said, no, I haven't tried it yet. The material you questioned previously in the chat. All good, all good. Maybe it's a good issue to put on the old GitHub repo under the issue. Oh my God, people have been filling it in. Wonderful. 10 points to all of you. There's more issues than when we started the video. This is great. Thank you, Zeus. It looks like Zeus, unless it's a very, very similar username, Zeus Almighty. But I appreciate that. Quick refresh of the sub count on my screen over here. Still 6. It's okay. I guess people just want to see me sad. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. Anyway, all right. We've put on just some text. It's all garbage. Let's get rid of this. I'm not interested in that. And let's just rerun the app just to get an idea of some of the information that we're seeing here. I don't know why I put the thumbnail as a text. And then I want to order it up a little bit. I'm not really sure. It's not about like good design or UI, this video. It's just about getting things working. Let's pick brown stew chicken. All right, there we go. So there's our thumbnail. We can maybe make that a nice bit bigger. There is actually like a... Oh yeah, that's the thumbnail. There's a YouTube link there. That's kind of cool. Maybe we could make that into actually like a clickable link. To do clickable link. I don't actually know how to do that, so that might be quite a fun thing to look up. In fact, you know what? Let's look that up right now. We'll learn it together. Compose text URL clickable. I don't bloody know. Let's find out. Hyperlink some text of choice. Get out of here. Clickable text. Clickable text. Is that somebody else? Is that a thing that we have access to? Let's find out. Click. Oh my goodness. All right. Clickable text. Sweet. So we'll dump this text into there. What up? What up? All right. Added an extra bracket. How else should I see? This is not a good example of how you should read the docs. I'm literally just going, meh. So let's actually take that over to Android Compose, to the docs themselves, and see if we can get some more information that way. Search, paste, clickable text. Here we go. Clickable text. Annotated string. Fine. And then the on click, it does something. All right. All right. I like it. I like it. All right. I don't like it. I'm horrendously uninspired. Okay. Doesn't matter, but we need to wrap it in an annotated string. Na 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 na. I recently had a super peer session with you. Maybe you can figure out. Oh. Hold on. Okay, so Zeus is saying that you recently had a super peer session with me and figure out the IRL name. I don't know if you want me to like say your IRL name because I've got a good sneaking suspicion of who it is. So all I'll say is I've basically got two people in mind. Hello. Hi. I won't say your real name. But yes, thank you very much. I hope it was exciting, and maybe you can give me a brief update in the chat about how, if anything's changed in the past amount of time. But since our call, I'm being very ruddy mysterious here, but anyway, I appreciate you, and I hope everything's going well. That's what I'm trying to say. Right, and an on-click. Well, this is kind of fun. I'd love to be able just to have like a triggering the hyperlink. It's wanting to do like a open URI thing here, isn't it? Do you know what? I think we'll just nick that, to be honest. There's no point in reinventing the wheel. Let's do that. Copy and paste. So all I'm trying to do at the moment is making this text clickable. Let's just have a look. Annotate string. Where are you? Oh, that's a lot of effort. I don't want to do that. Forget that. That's not happening. What about the URI handler? Yeah, we'll take you. We'll take you. That's a really terrible name as well, because the what is this? This is interesting. Local URI handler, composition local to provide functionality related to URLs. Nice. I hope you can read that. As I zoom in, the green text, of course, doesn't zoom in because that'd be far too simple. But what we're going to do is delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that. Get rid of that, put that in there, open URI. I think this should be all right. I've got a bad feeling that this won't fly. All right, yeah, we're in the wrong it reference. I'll call this underscore because I'm not actually using that int. So this underscore basically means like I'm not using the parameter passed in. Sorry, we got a message. Could you go over Painter again? How does a load local image from drawable? So Zeus. Excuse me, sorry. This image is actually loading a network image. Maybe, in fact, in a minute, this is a great idea, I'm going to put an actual icon or an image into the actual app itself. So I'll be loading an image locally, slightly differently than what I'm doing here. So good question. Hold on. I will be right there. But this block here is loading an image from the network. And it's because of this remember image painter, which I think isn't super named because you can't tell where it's come from. But if you command click it, it's from the coil library as well. In fact, let me just show you the build Gradle. There's coil at the bottom. Oh, it can be updated. Oh yeah, we should definitely do some dependency updates at some point, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm not going to mess with that now. I hope that helps, Zeus. Right, I think this might work. It probably won't, simply because that'd be far too easy, and they seem to have gone into a lot more effort over here. I might need to do like an implicit intent or something like that, or an explicit intent. Implicit? I can never remember the difference. Let's click on chicken. Let's click on this one. There's a YouTube link there. I clicked it. Oh. That just worked. Uh-oh. Somebody else's YouTube video in my video. Please don't power ban me, YouTube. Anyway, that seemed to work. Obviously, it doesn't look like much, but I'm just clicking on the text there, the small one. And oh, stop playing the video. Come on, Ben. Figure it out. Goodness. It doesn't look like much. Maybe we'll make it blue and underlined and look good. Or we can like maybe actually make it a button that opens this. It's not important, but it's done now. It's nice. So we'll get rid of this one. So we got a clickable link, and we've got name, where it comes from. Yeah, so Malaysia. So it's like whereabouts the area in the world it comes from. Jamaican. Awesome. That's wicked. We shall keep that. So for now, then, right? There's one last bit actually that's very important on a recipe app. From the API, we have instructions, and that is the big, long doc-off instructions about how to cook it. So we do want that. And right now, just to start off with, I'm just going to lob that into into a text, and we're going to run it and just see, because it'll probably be horribly formatted and gross looking. Zeus says image equals image view. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. image view in the old school XML native view system world, and image in the compose world. Yeah, that's a very fair comparison. Right, nice. So you can see here the text, right, that's come from the API. In a Blender add the response it's not obviously the exact same response we're getting. But in the example response, we got /n, so that's a new line character, and you can see that the text seems to be parsing these and actually doing a new line character. My guess here is that after smooth here, there was a new line character, and it's put it onto a new line. So that's kind of nice. So we should make this look a little bit more decent. We're going to add some padding and all kinds of stuff, make it look a bit better. And just saying, wow, this is a pain to do with spannable strings. Yeah, there's, you know, this answer is all well and good, but this is, you can see they're adding style and stuff. They're adding the fact that it's like blue and underlined in this annotated string thing, which is fine, but I'm just being too lazy. So all good in the hood. Yeah, we could like actually trigger specific intents there, like Android intents, like open, you know, browser or whatever at that point. But if I think this URI handler is, you know, is doing that for us. So all good. It's all fine. Right, let's make this text, let's make this instructions a little bit nicer. Let's start by adding a new composable function. I'm going to call it the instructions text block. I'm going to pass it instructions, and then we're going to actually you know, take this text, cut that, paste it in there, and it's called instructions in here. Nice. I'm going to, oh, excuse me, did too many of those. How are we doing? Hello, everyone. How are you doing, by the way? If you want a joke, give me a page number from 1 to 280, and I'll read you a joke. I feel like I'm a bit low energy for you today. I don't mean to be. I'm excited about like actually doing some coding for you. So, right. So it want instructions. I give it instructions. I don't know why I'm talking like a lunatic. Hey, Masen. Hello. I think that's the same Masen. Yeah, so Masen, anybody that's seeing the chat, Masen is another YouTuber that does a lot of really fantastic Android videos. Masen, hello. Also, you went to DroidCon Berlin, I think. Like, I think I walked past you, but I never, like, said hello or anything. I apologize about that. But yeah, you should check out Masen's video. You can see his username in the chat, so just go and click that. Much love back in return, buddy. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. There's a video you did recently. I think I said this to you, didn't I? The MITMA proxy, the MITM proxy video for Android developers. That's really a really great video. I've used MITMA proxy in the past for that exact reason, and it's delicious. Anyway, Dan the man. Oh, you were at my talk. Bless you, Mersan. Thank you very much. What did you think? Have you any feedback for me? I love harsh, doesn't need to be harsh, like honest, brutal feedback. If you've got any, hit me up. I'd love to be better. Dan said, Dan, you always say 13, don't you, Dan? Dan always says 13. Dan, I trust the hell out of you, Dan. And if you say 13, then I'll jump. Wait, that's the right expression, isn't it? Okay, Dan. Oh, I think your objective, Dan, is just to get every joke from this page. I'm definitely going to repeat myself accidentally. But I appreciate you, Dan, and here comes a joke. Everyone get cozy. Joke time. Get cozy. Nestle in a little bit. Page 13 with Dan. Dan the man. Save you with the plan. Was that the keyword, Dan? You just remind me if I've said that wrong. Hero with the plan. Anyways, man. Page 13. It's in the alphabet category, but I guess you probably knew that already. From last time. I'm going to try and pick a thing that I definitely reckon I haven't read. Here's one. I'm just going to read it. Mosen said it was fantastic and I loved the last pose. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm an idiot and I like to do stupid stuff. It was good fun. Anyway, here. Joke. Have you ever... Oh, no. I'm sorry, Dan. This is real bad. Here we go. Have you ever seen a Dutch S? It's exactly the same as an English S. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, come on, focus, camera. Focus! Do it, camera! Where is it? Have you ever seen a Dutch S? It's exactly like an English S. I don't know why I'm showing you the secret sauce, the ingredients. Goodness gracious me. But that was a great joke, actually, Dan. You have redeemed the whole world in terms of joke. You did that. Dan the man, the hero with the plan, right? I'm pretty sure that's it. Dan the man, the hero with the plan. Everybody, we're getting that on shirts at some point. But yeah, that was at least better than that other joke. Right, coding, Ben. Coding, for the love of God. Coding. Just a quick YouTube sub count check. Refresh. Come on, 3K. Okay, it's not 3K. I'm getting overexcited. But we did go to 7. We're almost there. We're a quarter of the way that we needed to go in this video. We don't need to go. We want to go because it's fun. If anybody's just joining me, has no idea what I'm doing, I'm watching my sub count because we're about to hit 3. Or we maybe hit 3. If we don't, that's fine as well. That's fine. I'm just, if we do hit it in this live stream, I've got some fun and shenanigans planned. So 70, Zeus. Okay, hang on. I do want another joke quickly. And Zeus has said 70. So bear with me. If I'm doing too many jokes, then please just, well, don't log off, but just tell me. I'll react, I promise. Settle in, get cozy. This is what the whole stream should just be me reading jokes. No, that'd be terrible. Zeus, ooh, you picked a good page. Dictionary definitions. Dictionary definitions is the thing, and it's basically a bunch of these. So I'll pick 3 like I did with the last one and just read them out. A carpet. That would, of course, be a dog that lives in a car. Carpet. See where we're going with this. Let's go to myth. A myth, spelt M-Y-T-H. Myth, of course, is a female moth. That's so bad. Okay, what about this? Here we go. This one's a good one. And, of course, the last one of the 3, octopus. Of course, an octopus, as we all know, is an 8-sided cat. That was a good one. That was a good one. All right. Thank you, Zeus. Page numbers in the chat. Zoom out. But we're going to try and carry on a little bit coding here. So this instructions block now, I'm not really sure what I want to do with it. But I think what I'm going to do with it is put it in a card. I overuse card. Let's just put it in a box. God, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be important. And I want to pass this instruction text block modifier. It's modifier. Just to make it reusable. What on earth am I talking about? And I'm not doing a very good example of this, but I just want to show you that this is possible. So what you can do when you're creating your composable functions to make them really reusable, if I wanted to, I could pass, make sure that the first argument, or well, any of the arguments, is called modifier. Give it the type of a compose modifier, and then give it the modifier as its default parameter. So that basically means if nobody supplies anything, we're just taking modifier as the base parameter. And you know, whenever you fill in like a modifier, you usually always start with capital M modifier and then da-da-da-da padding or da-da-da whatever. We're saying, okay, that's fine, but just in case somebody passes some modifier information already, we're going to start as a base with that. So you can see the difference is lowercase m, I'm using this modifier as my sort of base collection of modifiers. It might not be anything interesting, it might be nothing, it might not be supplied, in which case the default kicks in, or it might be, and then I'll work with that as my basis. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with it just yet, but anyway, this box, I'm going to put the text inside of there. This modifier will also have some padding of, God, I don't know, 8dp, solid like that. What else is a good thing that I can put in here? I should probably change the text a little bit. Yeah, this is not a great example. Doesn't matter. I'm going to go up here now, and you can see I've got my instructions is being passed as the sort of named parameter there. I could, if I wanted to, add in another like modifier here to sort of start the chain. So let's do that. Let's just to show my point. I'm going to do how do we demo this? Oh, I've got an idea. Padding horizontal, right, is 16dp, okay? So that's my, first of all, this is the modifier that I'm attaching to this instruction text block. And I'm going to go back to here, the one inside it, just as a really, really bad example. I'm going to change this to vertical padding of 16dp. So we should hopefully see that both sides have been padded equally, and I'll show you why that's interesting in just a second. Zeus has said, maybe add a read more button for the description because it's taking too much space. I like that idea. That's a great idea. Let's see if a Reddit post can push your channel subs. Musen. Interesting. Oh, I don't know if I should properly name you. My dude win. My dude win. Ed, sorry. Love you, buddy. A link to upvote. How do you mean? Oh, right. Maybe you're talking to Musen above. Wait. You lot better not be posting on Reddit. That's a terrifying idea. The people on Reddit, they'll kill me. Okay, the people they'll get me. Yeah, Ed. Yeah. Ed. All right, if you upvote links, then I love you and I appreciate you. Ed, you've just missed some good jokes. Give me a page number if you want, buddy. Honestly, you don't have to posted anything on Reddit, I wouldn't want to affect your karma or your good standing in the community. But if you did, then that'd be very, very cute. Post a link in the chat if that happens, and I'll have a look at it. That's a lot of pressure. Anyway, all right. I've run the app. Let's get back to coding. Beef. I'm going to go beef and pie. Okay, cool. So you can see here, this is the instructions block that we've just worked on. It's got some padding to the left and right, the horizontal, and it's got some padding at the top and bottom. So you can see the padding that we sort of set as a parameter going in was taken and built upon. Okay, so if you imagine, you know, this padding that came in as a function parameter, you can imagine that this was a modifier padding of, what was it, horizontal 16 dp, because it's just up here. So you can sort of pass around these chains of modifiers, and if you want to make your component really reusable, this is a terrible example, but if you want to make your component really reusable, as part of the function parameters, add a modifier type. Give it a default type in case people don't want to pass a modifier, they just want to have the default modifier elements on it, attributes, then that's perfect. Anyway, that's a terrible example. I'm gonna get rid of that because it's not needed. We're gonna do a delete in brackets. We're gonna just put 16 dp around it. That was pretty nice. And yes, we want to add like some read more dots. That's kind of cool. Let's do that. Let's do that as an instruction text block. I love that idea. Who gave the idea? Was it Zeus? Zeus gave the idea. So okay, so inside of this, I'm just gonna sort of ad-lib it and see what happens. This might not work, but I'm going to sort of work together. I'm going to put the instruction text blocks in a column. Okay? I'm going to move this modifier up one level to, oh my God, what did I click? Into the column. Hopefully we'll see why in a second. I don't even know why just yet. We've got a box that has the instruction text on, and I might say, right now you can see I've got the text has already gone off screen, so it's like already out of the loop. But maybe I'll do like a set the height of the box to be like statically some amount, and there'll be a button underneath it that'll say like, oh yeah, enable it to be like the full amount. We'll see if that works. YouTube removed the link. You can check Android Dev on Reddit. Only mods can paste links in the chat. Oh right, all right, interesting. I'm learning. Let me I'm just going to take a brief moment just to reddit.com r.android dev. Is that the one? I never remember. Oh god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry in advance. Let's get on new. Yeah, whatever. Oh no, my goodness gracious me. There I am. This is terrible. Thank you. I appreciate it, but I'm terrified now. I really have to step up my game. We're going to go straight into this room database stuff, I think. But bless you all. Ed, love you. Yeah, have a look. I guess, let me post this in here just because maybe some of you want to have a look. There's the link. I appreciate you greatly, all of you. Zeus, Masan, Ed, thank you so much. That's very, very kind and cute of you. I do appreciate it. I'm gonna do some work for you now, right? That's what I'm gonna do. That's my my payment for the wonderful posts and yell out that you did. Right, let's just do that then. Let's just maybe do what I just said. So we'll do the box having a modifier that has a specific height. So to start off with, we'll say, hey, box, be something rubbish, like 100 dp or something max, right? So if we just do that now, let's just see what the box looks like with 100 dp. Hopefully the words should be cut off. We won't see all of the text. Yeah, perfect. So you can see there, that's maybe what we want. And we're going to add a button underneath that sort of says like, oh yeah, show me more, right? Which was the suggestion of Zeus. Thank you again, Zeus. So inside of this, inside the column, but not inside the box, I'm going to add a button, which will have a certain on click. We'll come back to that in a second, but the button will contain a text saying show more. Again, not localized text because I am lazy, but there's our button. Let's just run that. As that's running, let's change in the curlies, get that a new line, and here is where we need to do the sort of like reveal mechanic. Now, so there you can see there's our button, and it's sort of doing the ripple reaction. So it doesn't look like much. Maybe we need to tart it up a little bit in a second. Let's make this button reveal more stuff. So inside of this composable, I'm going to do var show more as a variable, right? We're going to have this variable sort of part of the composable. And this is where the power of the remember blocks of code come in. These remember blocks let you put something between these brackets, and the compose function will sorry for bad expression, but we'll remember it. They'll sort of, it gives the compose function its own little sort of storage, its own sort of little cache, if you like, which is really powerful because, remember, in compose, we are not in control of when those functions get re-triggered. We can't guarantee that this function isn't getting re-triggered and re-triggered and re-triggered, right? And if we didn't use something like the remember function, we just had a val here that was, you know, imagine this 243 whatever was some sort of calculation, that calculation might be happening over and over and over and over and over again, which is terrible, bad for performance, bad for life. I'm going to stick in here a mutable state of, and we're going to give it false. So I'm basically saying, yes, this remember contains a mutable state of. State is a compose container, basically only updates, only does updates, only sort of says, hey, I've changed when it actually has changed. So for some reason, if show more was, if I did like show more equals false again, oh God, I can't type. It's all this pressure. Maybe there's people that have just come from Reddit. I'm terrified. Then it wouldn't update again. Like it's the state. It's the same value. It's not going to sort of trigger any changes. So having it in a mutable state of like that is nice. And there we go. This is sort of, if you like, this is sort of the compose way of adding like a variable, some sort of variable that isn't important to the view model. I would say this show more is not important to the view model. If it was something more complicated and had more logic with it, I'd probably extract it and stick it in the view model. But this show more, I don't care about. So I'm just going to wrap it inside the composable. So now what I'm going to do is height, right? This height thing, I'm going to put an if statement in here. And this is the beauty of compose, right? If show more, right? If show more, which basically says, hey, if show more is true, then your height is going to be 100 dp. Obviously, that's not what we want. Otherwise, if it's not true, it wants to be 100 dp. Now, we definitely don't want 100 dp. Here's what I'm going to do. Oh, this is good. Okay. Let me take you over to proandroiddev.com. An article came out just today, or was it today? 9th of November, today, about this, and we can use this. I'm so excited. I've wanted to use this for a while. So remember, if I didn't have this height modifier on the phone, this text block would go big and long and sort of take up all the space it can do. Vivek, hello, good sir. Hello, Vivek. I'm good. Good friend. How are you? How is life? How is everything? Your posts are sensational, by the way. Folks, Vivek in the chat does some fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff on Twitter. He does some really cool like things with compose, like fractal tree. I'd ruin it by trying to explain it. Some really cool visual effects with compose. So go check him out on Twitter. Vivek, what's your let's just flip in Vivek on Twitter. Twitter. Oh, hang on. Vivek Twitter Android. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Have I stuffed it here? That's not you. That's not you. Vivek, can you? Okay, V9. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. V9. VEK. I'll just do this. And I'll shout out as well, actually, Mosan as well, because I want to do that. There we go. So this wonderful dude, Vivek, has some great stuff. Oh, bless you for retweeting. Here we go. Like this fractal tree thing that you can see a brief example. He's been messing around with Compose, doing some really cool stuff. Check it out. It's delicious. Delicious stuff. Vivek, awesome. And who else was it I wanted to shout out? Mosan. Sorry. I just use my platform now to yell out other people. This is how it should be. This is what it should be. Mahan, Twitter, Android. Let's see if that works. Is that the right Masan? That is. There we go. Nailed it in one. And there's Masan as well. He's got his YouTube channel. You can see here. Does some absolutely fantastic stuff with Android dev sort of stuff. Anyway, that's it. That's enough shilling for everyone. But I love you and I appreciate you. Anyway, where was I? I get easily distracted. Oh my goodness, we got 11 people. Quick refresh of the old sub count. Okay, it's still on 7. We still got time. I believe in a thing called love. Just another room above. Anyway, this article that I was getting overly excited about. This article that just came out on Pro Android Dev today by Yamal talks about conditional modifiers. Now, this is dope. This is insane, and I can't describe how good it is without showing you. Right here, let's take the example he's done over here. Right. Imagine you wanted to only add the clickable modifier to a compose node, right? To make it clickable, to make it like ripple effect or whatever, to make it clickable if a condition was met. Nice. A lot of people are like, how on earth do I do that in a clean way? Obviously, you can make like the modifier variable you can make two versions of it. You can do an if, the modifier dot clickable, else modifier not dot clickable, and pass that as the modifier. Fine, but dirty, gross. There's better ways. In this article, the person tried to use apply. That didn't work because there is this tasty way right at the bottom here. This. I don't know if this is tasty. Ed has asked, is that 7 away from 3K? Ed, that's 3 away from 3K. This is 3. Oh, I'm a bad person. I shouldn't. The numbers shouldn't matter. The numbers don't matter. Also, Ed, meet Dan, the person that messaged below you. Dan is the savior of a previous stream. Dan, we have a slogan here on this stream. Dan the man, the hero with the plan, I think it was. And oh yeah, share the article. Yeah. Copy paste. Louis, wait, did I just copy the right link? Yeah, there's that article. Anyway, we're going to try it. This is like an if inside of the modifier that only, you can see this clickable modifier chain was only added if this thing was not fixed or whatever, right? So we're going to copy this. We're going to try it ourselves because I'm stoked to try this. I saw this today and I was like, I have to try this somehow. But I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, the height. I'll just spit all over my microphone. I'm too excited. This is a nightmare. I need to calm down. All right. Modifier. Nope. Nope. Take a breather, Ben. Right, here we go. If. Oh no, does that not work then? Is that not a thing that's allowing me to do this stuff? Come on. If show more. Oh, I wanted that to work so bad. The if's important because if is a important Kotlin keyword. Let me just go back to the article and actually read it. Oh, right. Okay. He's added his own. Okay, this is perfect. Sorry. Added his own extension function to modifier. That's the important bit that I've just completely neglected to read. So for now, I'm just going to dump it above this composable function, and I'm going to explain what it is. So this is Kotlin, ladies and gentlemen. The great of Kotlin gives us extension functions. We can write functions that and add it to classes that we don't own. For example, the string class, which I definitely didn't write, I can add functions like poop butt, and that is now, this function poop butt is now available on any string things. Let me show you. There's a string dot poop butt, and you can see extension function. Hooray! So what this author has done is written an extension function called if. If is a reserved keyword in Kotlin. That's why these funny backtick single quotes are on it, because you can't use if as it is, because Kotlin will go, oh no, but you can use it as like a name. The backticks basically are saying like, I'm not using it in its powerful if way. I'm using it as a name, Kotlin. That's what these backticks are saying. Whoa, look at the blowout there. Refresh. There we go. And yeah, we're just going to look at this. So he's the condition. So a Boolean comes in, and then the modifier chain. So he's literally making his own modifier that takes a condition, which is what our thing is going to be, the if statement, and then adds it to the modifier chain. And then we can, this bit lets us put modifiers inside of the curlies like he's done here. So it all makes sense. Right. So there's if. If show more is false. Wait, what do I want to do? If show more is true, then that's it. So if show more is false, I want to put height 100 dp. Okay, and get rid of it otherwise. So I'm doing now a conditional if. There's probably better ways to do this height thing. In fact, there's definitely better ways, but I just wanted to use this cute little conditional if on the modifier. So what I've said now is if show more is false. If show more is false, then limit the height to be 100. Otherwise, remove the modifier entirely, and it'll just blow up to fill up that entire space that we had before. That's a cute way of doing it, I think. Right, let's actually change show more on the button. So on click of the button, show more equals show more. So the bang in front of it basically toggles it. So if it was true, it'll set it to false. If it's false, it'll set it to true. Nice. So let's run that, and let's see. I think the button will get lunged off screen here, but I should probably read that message at some point. That looked important. Beef and mustard pie. Here's that. Show more. Bang. Nice. Okay. I clicked it. The button got yeeted off screen because there's no sort of scrollability here. But it worked. That was kind of cool. Conditional if. I love that. I love that so much. Yeah, obviously this if being here is gross and I should put this somewhere better. But for now, I won't worry about it. I won't worry about it. This then is... Oh, the then is that. Okay. Right, where was I? Yeah, the button just got yeeted off screen. That's not great. So let's figure out why that's happened. Okay. Fill max width for the column after the padding has done. The box isn't restricted, so that's why the text is taking up all of that space. So actually, I don't really want the button to be there. I kind of want the button to be maybe above it or something. Maybe this isn't something to worry about now. We're already an hour into the stream. I want to get room in. I want to get database in. I hope that's all right with everyone. Oh, hang on. I need to add that little bit of UI that's important. Okay, so store part of the string. Sorry, Vivek said that's a really good article. A good way to handle complex condition statements. Thanks for the tip. My pleasure. Thanks to Yamal on Pro Android Dev for that article today. That blew my world apart. It was awesome. And Zeus said, I did this previously by just changing the text, store part of the string, and then replace it with the entire text on click. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, the actual content's changing. That's an interesting way of doing things as well. I like that. That could work as well. Yeah, I think there's probably a bunch of different ways to do this. We can even put like some animation around this so that like content visibility, I think it is in Android world, where you can like animate that coming in and out. But anyway, let's get onto some room. Quick update here of this. We're still on 7, y'all. Go tell your friends. Go tell your friends. Right, let's get room involved in this, and then we'll come back to the button in a second. Let's jump around a little bit. Right, room. Let's get to the let's go to the old. Let's go to this old thing. I need to put in one UI element before I forget about this. Right now, I want to add room database. This is Dan, the man, the hero of the plan. Suggestion to add persistence. We're going to add a room database. This is, of course, the universal database symbol. It's called Room, R-O-O-M, and this is an SQL database client for Android. Basically, like retrofit, where we can just do like annotations and stuff. So if I just go to a service, dishes service, maybe. So here's the detail service. Instead of me having to write a bunch of crazy like HTTP clients to make HTTP request, I can use a library called retrofit, and it lets me do like annotations to say I want to make a GET request to this endpoint with this information, and it does it all for me. It generates the code for me. Room is a very similar thing. We can say like, oh, give it queries. We can add things to tables and get rid of it. We're going to do all that. We're going to do all that. Let me go back to the detail screen really quickly and add the UI element that we're interested in before we start. So I was thinking for room, we've got currently the dishes coming in. Let's have a heart that we'll click on that saves the dish to our saved database, and we'll have a new screen that's like our saved favorites list or something. Maybe. I don't know if that's a cute idea or not. We shall see. And right now, this app looks atrocious, but I don't really care. We're just going to add the heart here to do the heart. But first of all, let's add the heart. So in Android Studio, I hope maybe you didn't know this, but we've got in View Tool Windows, we have, where's it gone? Resource Manager. Let me just get full screen a little bit. Resource Manager that basically gives us an overview of all of the resources in the app. Of course, you can use the project layout to look at that, but Resource Manager is a nice quick overview with thumbnails, right? And it also gives you this powerful ability. The plus button. Add image asset, vector asset, drawable resource file. Image assets for like PNGs, JPEGs, vector assets for like, well, vectory assets. And what it gives you is a bunch of options already that like Android Studio provides. You can see I've got a huge list of things here that I'm given for free, and I think they're under the, I know they're under the Apache license. So these things can be used under certain conditions. I'm not going to preach the Apache license to you, but if I search for the word heart, nothing comes up. Love, oh, this is great. Come on, really? You haven't got a heart? I'm shocked and surprised. There has to be a heart in here. I'm doing the age-old terrible thing of scrolling. Come on, there has to be a heart in here. This is crazy. Otherwise, we'll use the alternate approach. Oh, there it is. See, look. Favorite is the keyword. Favorite. There we go. We've got border and favorite, like, filled. I'm going to take both. Thank you, Vivek. Favorite. I'm an idiot. we're going to use both. We're going to have border as like the unfilled version and favorite with no border as the like ready to go version. Color, just make it a big fat red, but we can come and change this later. It's really, really not important. No. I don't want to call it icy bloody. Let's call it icy heart outline for this one. Save that, and it's going to add it to our project for us. I'm going to do the plus again. Vector asset. This is probably a really terrible way of doing this, but it doesn't matter. I kind of wanted to show you the other way. We'll get back to that in a second. So, and this one will just be icy heart. Oh, excuse me. No, icy heart. I don't want to add it to my Git right now. I'm crazy. I want to do it later. Cool. So we've got the icy heart and the icy heart outline right now in our code base. Let's just add one in to start off with. So again, we're going to use this image thing again, but this time we're not going to be using a network image loader. We just want to, we've got the image in our project. We can just load it. And I just need to remember how to do that. I'm pretty sure it's remember vector painter. Pretty sure it's that. Pretty sure it's that. Just try it, Ben. Just do it. R.drawable.heart. Excuse me. Oh, R's not been imported. Import R. Come on. Everybody knows about R. Excuse me. Import R. Oh my god. Heart. There it is. Icy heart. Right. Content description null because I'm a terrible person. And this is not the right way to have used this. Okay, fine. So what is it? Is it image painter? Image painter? Ben, quickly Google. Let me see what it is in Google. I forgot how to compose. Drawable image. Load an image from drawable. Great, thank you. Painter resource. Did I not try painter resource? Painter resource. Painter. Okay, I didn't try painter resource. Oh, yeah. Vivek nailed it in one. Vivek's winning the game of guess at the moment. Or not guess, no. The game of no. Like not no. No with a K. Painter resource, and there's our heart. Let's just chuck it out onto the screen to see that that's the case. Oh, God. Oh, God. Ed, what have you done? Have you been pasting elsewhere? Oh, Lordy, Lordy, oh, no. Okay, everybody, look, this is our number still, 2997. I believe we can do it. We need 3. We need 3 subs, and I can pull out this. I'm just going to teaser it. Okay, and there was another thing, but I forgot what it is. Oh, it's over here, isn't it? Okay, there's messages I should attend to, but I'm going to commit to the stream to start with. Okay, I've just run the app, and it's not on screen for you guys. There it is. There's our heart. Hooray! Let's make it bigger. Let's make it the actual painter resource depend on the state of something, of whether it's favorited or not. But we're gonna have to come back and do that in a second. But for now, let's just make size. I don't know. What's a good size? 64 dp. Fine. I'm fine with that. Let's run that again just to see the size in action. Let me pull this over. How's everyone doing? We haven't had a joke in a while. Does anyone want to say a number from 1 to 280? And I'll read your joke. There's our heart. Yay! And it looks awful at the moment. If you want to have a joke, put a page in the page number in the chat. Okay, here we go. Let's keep moving. Right, we've got icy heart and we've got icy heart outline. Icy, yeah. Vivek, icy. I can't. Heart outline is my other one. Right, now the problem is we need to get that data. When this gets clicked, in fact, let's add the clickable to it. So when this gets clickable, we're going to do probably something with a view model, save this item to the database, which we're going to set up now. Very quickly, we got the number 5 and the number 77 from Mosen and Zeus. Come on, Ben. This is bad streaming. Let's go. Page 5, really quickly. Everyone settle in. Not really quickly. Get cozy. Page 5 for Mosen. The category is accidents. Like this stream. Stream was an accident. Did you hear about the campfire that got out of control? The flames were intense. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Mosen. That's for you, buddy. Flames were intense. Page 5. Zeus, page 77. Na. Flicking through pages. Here we go. Get cozy again, everybody. Let's that zoom in. Zeus, page 77. The category is called doctors. Doctors. Oh, okay. It's like a doctor one. Okay, so I'm going to pick the first one to see. Here. Doctor. Oh no, we want a doctor, don't we? Oh, it doesn't matter. Doctor. This is it's a script. So this is the doctor saying, Doctor, I'm sorry to tell you, you're dying. Patient. Patient, how long have I got? Doctor. 10. Patient. 10 what? 10 months? 10 weeks? The doctor. 10. 9. 8. Ooh. It's dark as well. It's dark. It's scary. Death takes us all. That's too deep for this live stream. Nizar. Hello, Nizar. Welcome to the stream. Can you explain to us the difference between MVC and MVVM? Ooh, big time question. Yeah, 1 second. Ed says, also, what's the story behind your unique way of making the bed? You son of... Ed, come here, Ed. Come here. Ed, come here. Everybody else relax. Everybody else take a seat. Ed, come here. Over to the back, over to the side. I can't believe you've done this. How could you do this to me? This bed making strategy over here is sacred. This is what Germans do. I've told you once, I'll tell you again. This is how Germans make beds. All right, I'm going to do this, and this is only because we're near 3K. I'm going to turn into a proper streamer. You can see my legs. This is how Germans make the beds, right? I can't believe it's come to this. Maybe people have come from Reddit. This is your fault, Ed. I blame you entirely. There's a normal bed sheet like you'd have, but you fold it into threes like you do with an envelope. You see that? You see that, techers? Let me give you that again. And then I really need to carry on because I'm just going to lose subs. See that? That's a made bed. And that, do you know what that does? Makes it fluffy. Makes it enjoyable. Anyway... Ed, you better have enjoyed that. Right, back to the question. Nizar, and also Zeus says, damn, that's a good one. Mohammed, hi. Hello, Mohammed. How are you doing? Hello. Welcome to the stream. So, Nizar asked about the difference between MVC and MVVM. I think we need to go to the whiteboard. Oh, the whiteboard. So, MVC, MVVM, Ed says, thank you so much. MVC stands for Model View Controller. And MVVM stands for... Model, View, and View Model. Now, my knowledge of MVC is very thin grasping because in the Android world, MVC is a thing that maybe never even happened. In iOS, I know that MVC definitely happened. In the Android world, MVP was big and still sort of is, but now MVVM really is the king. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is my grasp is weak. Starting with this, MVVM, the view model is the bit that's attached to a view. So a view, a set of components, a screen will have a view model, which will tell the view how it should display. That's fine. Realistically, you use like the observer pattern. So the view model doesn't know about the view. The view model, very importantly, does not have a reference to the view. That's really important, especially in the Android world. Imagine if you passed like the... a text view into a view model and the view model stored that. And imagine then that the activity, the fragment gets ripped down, that text view is no longer there. That's bad. So in MVVM, at least, the view model shouldn't know about the view, but broadcasts information, and the view knows about the view model. It's listening. It's this one-way flow. It's listening to events and presenting data. Controller, on the other hand, again, please asterisk everybody on this. Maybe someone's got a better understanding of this. But again, don't use MVC in the Android world. Really don't. From my understanding, controller is like a middle point. So you've got the view. Oh, excuse me. You've got the V and the M. You've got the view and the model, and the C sits between it and acts like a bridge between the two. So you from the view, you say, hey, controller, do this, and the controller will go away to the M or the other layers and say, oh, okay, do stuff, and then the M will pass data back up to the C, the controller, and the C will pass it back to the view. So it's like this bridge in between. In terms of my knowledge, I don't honestly know if the controller has a reference to the view, but I think, again, asterisk, I remember that the C, the controller, has a reference to the view, which is bad, and you have to do a lot of cleaning up. It's like the MVP as well. You have to sort of, when your view is about to disappear, you have to do work to sort of detach the P or the C, detach the view from the P or the C, otherwise you'll have memory leaks and loads of gross stuff like that. Haley Wynn, subscribed. Ed, have you deployed your family? Ed, let's go over to the screen. can't wait. I had something ready. Let's go. Hey, Haley, I think you're the... I made a hat. We made it. 3K, baby. I don't know what's happening. Let's get some crash zooms. Okay. Look at this hat. All right, that's enough of that. We made it to 3K, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just refresh and make sure that wasn't a fake positive. 3002. This is atrocious. This is amazing. Yes, I made a hat. And yes, it's got donuts on it. What now? You know? Your move, YouTube. Donut hat. I'm going to keep this on for the rest of the stream. I thank you all. I want to say in this moment, this live stream moment, thank you for subscribing, Haley. Maybe it's Ed's family that pushed me over the limit. I hope not, but there you go. Zeus, activity or fragment acts as view and controller. Oh, right, regarding the actual question. Good stuff. Dan says, congratulations. Thank you all. Just very, very quickly, before we carry on this stream, I'm very, very grateful. I'm so thankful for you all. This is amazing. Just like, as I said before, numbers shouldn't matter. Numbers aren't important, but it is a really nice way to sort of keep seeing growth actually happen in the channel and getting a metric that basically says that what I'm doing is of value to someone. And I think that's important, at least. I have fun making my videos. Go check them out on the channel. I have fun doing these live streams. So everything else is just a bonus, and that is a bonus. So thank you all so, so much. Amazing. As a side note, actually, for this year, 2021, it was my goal to get 3K. So we've just hit right at the sort of final 2 months of the year. We've hit the goal. That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Let's have a joke to celebrate. Is everyone ready? Haley, if you're still here, can you pick a page number between 1 and 280? Just put it in the chat between 1 and 280. Haley, if you're still here, because yours was the last thing I read before the 3K hit. So Haley, if you're still here, then do that. Stuke's here as well. Oh, my friends, hello. I'm so sorry. Anyone that's here for the actual stream, like the coding, we're like, oh great, Ben's doing doing that thing again where he just like does no work. I feel you. Haley, if you're not here, maybe Ed's still here. Maybe one of the wins could put a page number from 1 to 280. Real quick, smart. Otherwise, I might just riffle and pick one randomly. Oh, here we go. Haley's on the way. Haley's on the way. We'll wait. Everyone, we're waiting for Haley. Hey, Ed said a number, thank God. I was about to see that. I did see the numbers plummet. We had like 9, and it just went 6. Anyway, there we go. Ed said 117. Good choice, Ed. Good choice, Master Chief, yo. Zeus said 117. Wait a minute. Is everyone saying 117? Something's happening here that I'm not quite sure of, but I like it. All right, Ed and Zeus. Okay. There's funerals or there's fruit. I'm going to go with fruit on this one because we're having a celebration. I'm wearing this stupid hat. Fruit. Here we go. Here's the joke. What did one strawberry say to the other? It's because of you that we're in this jam. I want another one. That felt weak. One more and then I promise I'll carry on coding. What did one tomato say to the other tomato? This is good. Go on ahead. I'll catch up. Oh, I needed that. Anyway, we'll get back to it. Haley, you just missed it. Haley, say a page number from 1 to 280, and I'll read it a bit later. But right now I have to carry on coding. Otherwise, the people that are here for the coding will leave, and bad things will happen. I've got 40 minutes left of the stream. We hit 3,000, everybody. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you so much. Hello. How do you pronounce your name? Ogzahan? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Hi, Ogzahan. Welcome to the stream. If you're just joining us, anybody, we just hit 3K. on the channel subscriber count. We just had a little celebration, and now we're going to carry on with some code. Haley, you need to pick a number from 1 to 280 from the joke book so that I can read it. So I can open the page. The page, Haley, the page. And read it from the book. Haley. I'm wearing a stupid hat. Anyway, if Haley gets to it, we'll get around to it. Let's go back and do some code, maybe? Haley said 177. I'm writing that down. We're going to do it later. You can go again if you want. I appreciate you subscribing. I appreciate you, though. I'm gonna get some coding done for these wonderful people that are here to see some code. Right. When the image gets clicked, we're going to trigger a clickable function. But for now, we need to wire up room, and I've got 40 minutes to do it. So we're going to do it. Oh my god. Okay, to start with, we need some room dependencies. If anybody ever tells you that they can just add room dependencies and set up room without an instruction guide, they're lying to you, and you need to call them out on it, and they need to be told off, because that's not possible. So what I'm going to be doing is using a guide, because that's what sane people do. So back here, I'm using the wrong browser. Back here somewhere, I have room. This is the room URL. I'm going to just pop this back into the chat in case anybody wants to follow along. We've got room, which is a Jetpack library. So this is the SQL database that you can basically add to your app. As I was saying before, like retrofit, you can just use really simple like function annotations to say what you want of the database, so that you don't have to write some complicated like cursors or some all SQL statements, all that kind of stuff. You still can, but it takes away some of the craziness from you. Okay, hang on. Zeus has said something. Oh, bye, Haley. Thank you. Bye, Haley. If you don't use any architecture, then you're using MVC, Zeus says. I suppose so, yeah. I suppose that might be correct. So you're actually using MVC without knowing it. I mean, not here, right? We're using MVVM, but if you're not using any architecture, you're using MVC. Well, no, I might sort of make a discrepancy there, because if you're not using any architecture, I would argue that you're probably putting all of the stuff into one file. So I'm guessing if you're not using any architecture, you're doing like one big activity file, and then I would say maybe you're using like MVC, but maybe not. I'm not entirely sure. There's some conversation happening. Zeus Almighty, that's a good joke. Is it from Joke Book? Okay. There's a chat happening in this chat, like between people, about MVC. I'm going to stay out of it. I'm going to put some room into this database. I'm going to put some room into this code. In fact, I also have... Where did I put that? I have forgotten where I put that. Doesn't matter. Let's get room in here, baby. I'm going to add the room runtime and the annotation processor stuff. Wrong one. No, Kotlin Groovy. Here we go. In fact, you know what? I had this code somewhere, and I've just completely forgotten where I put it now. Benny boy, where did you put it? Where did you put it? Oh yeah, hang on. It's in this thing. So I'm going to do git diff room test, because I wanted to test out that this was working before we started. So I'm going to do some copying pasting from my own code base, basically from a different branch that I've not uploaded, just to make things easier. So we're going to start by taking these dependencies, the room dependencies, and putting them into our code. So I'm going to do room here, and the following dependencies will be room-based things. I'm going to get rid of the nasty, nasty little hyphens that my terminal's put in there. And right now, I'm pointing to version 2.4.0 beta 1. There is a reason why I did that. And it was because 2.4.beta 1 brings room auto migrations in. We're going to cover that a little bit later, but for now it's really not important. The docs say 2.3.0, but I'm going to stick with 2.4.beta 1, and you'll hopefully see why. I've added in the runtime, the KTX extension, and capped. So for annotation processing, let's go back over here. I don't know why I needed that. Here's some options I'm not going to add right now. Basically, can I zoom in here? In the previous branch, you can see the red is basically the difference from my code right now to the other branch. So red is actually added things that I added. I added in some Java compile options that basically built schemas of my database depending on the version. And this was for the auto migration stuff. So we're not going to add this right now. We're going to add this later. There's some of the schemas scrolling through the git diff here. And then we need to start putting in a database. And you can see here I did a DB module. So we're going to do the same thing over here. So we have room. Let's sync the code up. Oh my goodness, the chat's blowing up. Let's see. Okay. I suggest watching Florina's talk on architectures, Zeus says. Zeus says, do correct me if I'm wrong. Nizar, which is better to code, Android with Java or Kotlin? Nizar, I can answer that question right for you right now. Kotlin. Yeah, back in the days, Java was the only option. Back in about 2017, Android said Kotlin is now an available language. And I think as of 2018, could be wrong, Kotlin became the Google preferred language. So most of their code labs, their code solutions are in Kotlin. Kotlin's just beautiful, succinct, fast, excellent. Mohammed, which is better to code with Java or Kotlin? Kotlin. Okay. Manual migrations are pain. Zeus says, yeah, manual migrations are a terrifying mess, and your code base will just fill up with like migration files. But auto migration, hopefully I get round to it. If not this video, the next one, make things super easy. You barely need to do anything. It's really dope. Vivek saying Florian's talk on architecture. You mean his Florian? I'm Florian. So I'm gonna keep out of the chat for the moment. I'll let you chat it out, and I'll keep on with the room stuff. Okay, so room's in. We've synced it up. Let's start adding some code. To start with, I'm going to go into my dependency injection, and I'm going to add another module that I want to add. I'm going to call this DB module, which you've seen it over here. You already know what's going to happen. But this is me telling Hilt how to provide my database instances. And this is actually really important, arguably one of the most important bits. So this is a Hilt module, so I'm going to tag it with @module. If you don't know about Hilt, then please check out the other streams. We set up Hilt in stream 1, I think, so all of the juicy information's in stream 1. So you can see we added the module tag so that Hilt knows it's a module. We tell it where to install it, and we're providing two things. We're providing a database and a DAO, a data access object, I think is data access object. For now, I'm going to actually just copy and paste this because I don't want to waste anybody's time, and we're already low on time, but I will explain what the hell is going on. What's going on? Paste. Let's get rid of all of these nasty dashes that the git diff did to me. I can't believe you've done this. I should have just done like a find and replace thing there, but it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. We're there. Right. So module, of course, with Hilt, you need to say like where we are scoping it into, where we're installing it in, install into, oh my God, install in. And I want this to be a singleton component. So there's only one of it available. It's like a constant, if you like, in the app. And then we've got two functions, provide database and provide DAO. Okay. We're going to comment this one out. I'm going to start with the database. Okay. We need to say in our Hilt, give me a database. When I ask for a room database thing, in fact, what does room database build return? Oh, hang on, I need to import room. What does build give me? Oh my God, okay, fine. We'll come back to that. Let me get all the imports in. So provides, you remember like we did with app module, when we wanted to create a retrofit instance, we wrote a provide because we don't own retrofit. So what we can use is the builders, like the builder pattern, to actually provide specific instances that have been built of retrofit, if that makes sense. And we use provides instead of binds for interfaces. The chat is blowing up. This is awesome. I think this is awesome. I hope everyone's all right and having a good time. For databases, we need the application context. Databases, especially room databases, are tied to the application. So it's important that we pass the application context. This annotation here is a Dagger Hilt thing, and it basically we can use @application context when we are trying to add a context as a dependency to specifically ask for the application context as opposed to an activity context or what have you. We provide the context as the first argument for this room database builder and build. And then this bit, dish a database, this is the bit that we need to now define our own database. So we're going to do that as well. We're going to go into, where are we going to do this? I think we'll just do this as its own package, actually. I'm going to do a DB package. Maybe not the best place for this, but it doesn't matter. Inside the DB package, I'm going to do dish a database. Sorry to repeat myself from our previous code. But we're going to create now our own room database. So this is us actually creating a room database, and I'm pretty sure it's room database, open and close brackets, and down here let's just search for where I've done this before. Dish a DAO, dish a database, here it is. So this is the code where we actually have to define our database. In this example, in my previous example, yeah, Ian, we did it, baby. Yeah, free key. We set up some auto migration stuff. So this stuff down here, we're not interested in just at the moment. Like, well, sorry, actually, these bits here, we're not interested in at the moment. We do need to have the DAO. We'll talk about that in a second. And we need the @database annotation. So to start with, I want to make this, I think it's an abstract class I need, isn't it, for a room database? Again, if anybody ever tells you that they can immediately set up a room database without help of a guide or some code that they've done before, they're lying to you. Don't trust them. They're bad people. Database annotation, and in here we need to pass some stuff. What do we need to pass? We need to pass the entity type that this database can store. Entity type that this database can store. Remember, we're not doing any of the SQL ourselves. SQL, you have to like create tables, database, all that stuff, and define structures. What we can do instead, because it's all done for us, is pass class types here. Pass classes like, what was our flipping class type? Detail, model, was it meal? Meal detail? A meal detail. We can add a meal detail. We can add a meal detail. As the I should really concentrate as I'm doing this. Here we go. We can say that this database can store meal details, right? Class. Okay, so we can tell it the type of items it can store. We also then need to do version, and this may seem like nothing to start off with, right? But this version thing is really truly important. As you change your app, this meal detail class, right? Remember, this is going to sort of map into an SQL table. So you're going to see like a meal detail table that will have all of these rows. And if ever I change this class inside of the code base, then my database is not going to work as it used to. I need to migrate from the old one to the new one. I need to make sure that I update the version. So this version number, as you make changes to any part of the database, should change and increment upwards. Let me just check the chat. Cool. Yeah, it's looking like some folks are sharing information about MVC. I think I butchered my explanation of MVC earlier, but it doesn't matter. Use MVVM. That's my my recommended. We dropped down to 3001 as well. What happens in the stream if we went to 3000 and then what if we drop below it? I don't know. I don't know what happens. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. That'd be really awkward. Anyway, then we have the option to set up some auto migration stuff for Room. Right now, I'm not interested in that at the moment. So that's all I need to set up my database. I say what kind of things can it store and the version number. Again, which doesn't seem important now, but is important. After that, the only other bit I need to do is provide the DAO. So I've set up my database. In a moment, I'll connect up the Hilt. In fact, I'll do that right now because we're ready to do it. Inside a Hilt, I will connect up my database. So I'll say for Hilt, so it knows how to inject my database. I'm creating it with the Room Database Builder. I'm giving it a name. GGG is a terrible name. We're going to call it Disher Database. Maybe I'll store this in constant somewhere else. Come on, Ben. Base. I'm too excited about the exciting news of 3K. What a treat. So we provide it an app context, application context important. We provide it the database class that we're trying to create a database of. Of course, that points to our database that we just made. And in the database, we tell it the type of objects that can be stored in the database. Yeah, Ian's saying if it goes below 3K, I have to take off the hat. That's fair. That's fair. This hat is an if statement. This is an if modifier, hat modifier. Please don't unsubscribe. Please, if you want to see me take off the hat, just tell me. Just don't unsubscribe from it. But if it does go below 3K, I'll take the hat off. That's fair. That's legally binding, everybody. And I will never wear this hat again. No, anyway, thank you, Ian, for your input. Right. DB module. So now Hilt knows how to pass our database around, knows how to create it and pass our database around. As I said, it takes the application context and then it creates a database from this database class. Inside here, we still need this abstract function to pass, to give out this DAO thing. And what the hell is this DAO? I'm just going to put this as a comment for now. He's saying, what fun thing will Ben put on his head for 4K? You tell me. I'm open for suggestions. What? Okay. If this channel has turned into just a mess channel now, so we might as well live with it. We might as well rock with it. At 4K, if we hit 4K, write me in the chat. I'll put something else on my head, and you can tell me what. Ian, you did this. You did this to me, but I appreciate you. Here we go. I need to provide the DAO from this database thing. Of course, we need to set up the DAO to start off with. So if I just go back up here, you can see a Disher DAO was created as well. So inside of my database package, where I set up my database, I'm also going to create a new DAO. And remember, a DAO is a I think it's a database access object. It's basically a way, this little class, this little interface that lets us do two things. One, it's our portal into the database. We can add and take away functions. So we can add functions to our DAO to enable us to actually access the data from the database, one. And two, it's the place where we do all the fancy annotation stuff so that Room can automatically set up the code needed to create all of the database crap that we don't need to deal with anymore. So it's an interface, and I'm going to call it, sorry, again, not super creative, dish a DAO, zoom on in. We need an annotation above it that says DAO. Okay, this is a DAO. In fact, does it say what DAO? Yeah, data access object. So I'm not too far off. Data access object. Inside of here is where we start doing our functions, right? So if I just go back over here and glance at an example. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness gracious, what have I done here? We can start doing suspend functions because remember, writing and reading to a database is often an asynchronous task. You know, we haven't, it might take a bit of time. It might take more than 1 millisecond. So we need to make it a suspend function. So coroutines kick in, and we can run that code without affecting our app, without slowing down our app. Anyway, we can do something like get list of. To start off with, let's just add some strings to it, just to prove that this works. List of strings, right? Here is the return type. I want a list of string, right? Currently, our database doesn't do anything. But we're going to make it do something now. I'm going to go back to our database, and instead of mealdb, right, I'm going to say it can take strings. Our database, oh my goodness, sorry. Our database can handle string classes being stored in it. Of course, we'll change that in a second, and that's not a great example, but it can currently handle strings. So over in our disher DAO, I've created a suspend function called getListOfString, but it doesn't do anything yet. I need to now use another annotation set above my functions to interact with the database. There are things like insert. Insert, as you would imagine, insert takes whatever you give it, puts it in the database. Awesome. We don't need to write an SQL statement to do, I don't even know the SQL for it. What is it? Some sort of crazy insert statement. In fact, let's just command click, see if we can see it on here. No, okay, abandon ship. There's things like update. So if you've got a row, you're not adding a new row, you're just updating the data in an existing row. You have update. We have things like, I think it's delete rows, etc. And we have the all-powerful, and this is the one that I want to show you, query. Query is super ambiguous because here is where you can write SQL statements, right? You can write SQL statements inside the query tag to do actual SQL on the actual SQL database and return information. So that doesn't make a lot of sense, but let me just explain it a little bit simpler. We haven't yet got a table. Here's the thing. If you know SQL, you've been hopefully following along. We set up the database. We set up this DAO thing, which is just like our accessor, but we never set up a table yet. We just said, oh yeah, our database can take types of string. Where was that? Where's that gone? In fact, I'm just realizing that this is a really bad idea. Let's not do strings. Let's do mealdb, back at mealdb, right? It can take types of mealdetils. So here is our mealdetils. Oh, I'm going to zoom in. There's our horrendous class that we're going to store in our database, right? Up at the top, I need to do one final thing to connect this up. It is entity. I need to tell Room that this class definition, this class is a Room entity. This class can exist in our Room database. Nice. And let me just entity. Let me just look for it here. Here was an example that I did. In fact, you know what? Should we recreate the example? No. Come on. We'll just do the final product to start off with. The entity, we need to give it a table name. So the table where these mealdetils are stored in the database. Because remember, in Room, in SQL databases, you have a database that contains many tables. And inside of tables, you contain many rows and columns, right? So this is me setting up one of those tables. I can call it whatever I like. I'll call it meal details, right? It's just a string. And simply by adding that, I have now enabled Room, this object, to be stored in my Room databases. So let's go back to the DAO. And in here, watch this. This is quite interesting. Inside of my query now, I can get autocompletes. I typed M and I get meal details. Meal details, if I command click on it, was that table name. So it's all like connected up together. It's all super awesome. So right now my query is saying, get me everything from the meals details table. It's going to return not a list of strings. It's going to return a list of meal details, and that is it. Like that's me setting up my code. I didn't have to write crazy cursors, from the old school Android world. I didn't have to write any, ridiculous setting up database stuff. So there was some setting up, and let's just summarize what we did. Oh, I forgot to do the DAO bit. That would have failed. Let me just go back here. We need also to provide that DAO. Remember, we did inside of Disher database. We didn't set that up. Provide. Let me just finish this, and I'll explain it as I go. Provide DAO, and this should return a type of Disher DAO. Now, and it's a function, Ben. Of course, you silly Who's doing this to me? How are you doing this? How are you doing this to me? Anyway, inside of our database, we need to say provide this DAO thing. I'm not going to lie, not exactly sure why we do this, but this is the bit that connects up our data access object. So our database knows about this data access object, and we can access it. So back into the Hilt module, I want to create another provides function that takes the database, the Disher database, as a parameter. So we need the DB, and it will return to me a DAO. So whenever we need to access the database, remember, we have to go through the DAO. So this is my way of getting the DAO. Right, let me just delete this line, and let's rewrite it again. Return DB dot provide DAO. Nice. And when I save, hopefully, there we go. Okay, cool. You can see that I'm taking the DB. I'm not sure why. The DB should be, I should have one of these little things next to the DB here. Disher database. Let me just see. Disher database. Fine, doesn't matter. Anyway, this Disher database is being provided here by the Hilt's injection function here above it, and then we're taking that dependency and running the provide DAO function on it. Again, this is an abstract function because we're letting Room do all the heavy lifting for us. We're just saying, yep, this is the DAO that we need to provide around the app. Room, take the wheel, set up all the code for me, and we're just going to access the DAO with, by injecting the DAO as we usually do using Hilt. Again, if you're confused by Hilt, check stream 1. We set up Hilt like crazy. Right. I think I've got everything. I think I've probably missed something. It doesn't matter. Now, we've set up the Room. If I run this, let's just see if there's any things that I've messed up. I haven't actually called Room yet, so we're going to call some Room stuff. Zeus is saying I need to build the project to get the icons in the gutter. That's awesome information, and I'm building right now, so hopefully we'll see some items pop up. Oh, yes, I've got a failure. A fail occurred whilst executing yada, yada, yada. Check AAR metadata. Okay, don't know what the hell that is. Here we go. SDK version 30 seems to be a problem, and min SDK 31. So that'll explain why in the previous example I changed the SDK to 31. Actually, I think now I'm remembering, because I'm using Room 2.4 beta 1, that's the problem. So I'm actually going to change down to Room 2.3.0, which is the recommended version, so that we don't actually need to really face this problem yet. And I think we won't have time in this video. But next video, when we talk about auto migrations with Hilt, then I'll switch back to the version 2.4 beta 1 that has auto migrations. Right, I synced. I'm going to build again, and hopefully this time we don't see the min SDK thing, because this version of Hilt 2.3.0 is fine with min SDK 30. Building, building, building. I have got something very bad. What have I got? Room database. Warning. Schema directory. Blah, blah, blah. Cannot import with schema. You can either use schema or export schema to false. I'm going to set export schema to fault because I'm lazy. But I forgot how to do this. So let's just export. Schema. Hang on. Here we go. Room DB schema export false, just to see where I need to do it, because I don't know. I don't flipping know. Here we go. Export schema false as part of the database itself. So let's just do that because I'm lazy. But the reason that I'm not interested in exporting the schema is, again, as I said before, we're not interested in the schema at the moment. There we go. The schema is really useful for when I'm doing auto migrations because it's two schemas. You know, the database version 1 was set up like this. Database version 2 was set up like these. These schemas are the way that it translates how to auto migrate it as well. So that's really important. Anyway, watch this still not build anyway, and then it doesn't matter. And then I was wrong anyway. Let's just do a quick refresh of the sub count. Make sure I haven't got to take this hat off. Okay, thank God. Okay, it's not still building, so I'm gonna clean and then run again. So clean and then rerun, and then we'll deploy Dan the hero with the plan, if it doesn't work again. Dan is my go-to of everything. Oh, your entity must have a primary key field. So see, these errors are a little bit funky. I need to add a primary key field to my mealdb. So mealdb, I'm going to add a primary key annotation, and I think that's all I need to do. Basically, when you're doing SQL, you may know this, you may not. I don't really know this. You need to have for your rows some field that is a primary key, a unique ID, a unique value that is nowhere else in that table, so that you can uniquely identify certain rows and entities. I think just by adding that annotation there, that ID meal string, I think is... Cannot figure out save this field in the database type convert for it. Excuse me? Oh no. Yeah, this is the problem now because I've got any's from this stupid Do you know what? Is this a bad idea? This might be a bad idea. Let's try this. Let's do this. Let's do a find and replace inside this file. Find replace where the word any is. We're going to put it into string. Replace all. Oh, no. Okay, I might have issues when I'm actually hitting my retrofit endpoint here, but this is due to laziness, people. Please don't copy this. I just want to get it building and get things in the database. Have you tried to do it with database from Firebase? Oh, data store from Firebase. I've not used data store. I've used real-time DB from Firebase actually, and that's really, really nice. But I've heard that data store is really good, and I know that what's his name? Phil Lackner likes data store as well, I think. But yeah, why do you ask, Sam? Is there some question about data store that I probably can't answer, or have you got something you could tell us about data store? Just create another meal, smaller model entity class Dan. God bless you, Dan. Dan, never change. Yeah, if this doesn't work, Dan, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, because this would be very upsetting if we get nowhere with the room. Anyway, this is not what I'm seeing on my screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's built. We'll see. We'll see. It's not killed the other the retrofit like the JSON parser. So I think it's okay. So we're gonna just keep it all as strings, and this is really terrible. But for now, I just want to get it in a room database. So our mealdb is now an acceptable entity to go into the room database. In fact, let's add some stuff to the meal database. So when I go to a disher screen, let's do our first actual thing, right? When we go to a detail, I wanted the details screen, didn't I? Details screen. When we go to the details screen, so this one that you're looking at now, we first of all trigger this disposable effect to because we're passing in the meal ID. So we need to go to the retrofit again and say, hey, use this meal ID to query the API for this specific meal. So this is what this is doing. Get details for dish ID. So we're going here. This is us triggering, the use case. Here, the use case, which will in turn, trigger the repository, which will in turn trigger the service, which will in turn actually go and do that lookup from the API and pass the details response back up. And the details response is a list of mealdb. Do you remember the output was really gross? It passed a list, even though that there's one meal that matches that thing. Anyway, I won't be that guy. For now, then, let's save. Let's change this a little bit. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to save meal as a database, and I'm going to take this response because we're going to use it more than one place. And we're going to get the first meal from the response to the API. And I'm still going to not change the actual logic here. I'm just going to, that meal will still go back to the UI state, to the state going to composable so that we can get this screen here. But what I will do is, I shouldn't do this, but just for a very quick example, I'm going to pass the DAO right in here. I'm going to inject the DAO right into here, and we're going to use it right now. Don't do this at home. Don't try this at home, people. Okay, so I'm injecting the DAO into the view model. Not something to do. No. Bad. I should put it in the repository, but I'm just really quickly setting this up so I can show you something. We can see that the gutter icons have kicked in, and we can see where that DAO actually leads to. And now I have access to this DAO and all of the things that the DAO can do. So if I do DAO.get list of string, you can see there I can get the list of string. That's a suspend function. I'm in a coroutine scope, so that works fine. There's nothing in the database yet, so let's store something in the database. Let's go back to our DAO and add an insert function. Words. I'm going to save meal. Okay, save meal. Really easy. And the meal is going to come in. It's going to be a mealdb, and that's it. It's going to save, right? It's a suspend function. We give it the thing we want it to save, and then if you hadn't already guessed it, I'm going to use the insert keyword from room. And that's it. I don't need to write, as I said before, the SQL for this insert. It will do it for me. All set it up for me. So I save. That's it. I've added the ability now to save mealdb into the database. I go back here. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to do DAO.saveMeal. And I'm going to pass it the meal. And that's it, right? So right now, I'm making the request. When I get a response, I'm saving it in the database. That's it for now. I'm going to run that. And I'm going to go to a detail screen. And then I'm going to show you this really powerful feature in Android Studio that makes working with Room and databases amazing. We have 10 minutes left, and we've barely done any jokes. If you want a joke read out of this joke book, the wonderful 9 people that are here, hello, thank you still for being here. I appreciate you greatly. We went over 3K. I'm wearing a stupid hat. I'm having a great time. We're still over 3K, so this hat is still legal. If you want a joke from this joke book, just put a page number in the chat. From 1 to 280. I'll read you a joke for free. For free. Right, beef. Beef and mustard pie. Error. That'll be because of the database. Let's go and have a look at what the problem was. Oh, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go in once more. Okay, maybe it was logged under BK. Exception. Not null. Constraint field. Date modified. Oh, I'm going to have to do what Dan said. Dan's always right. Dan the man, the hero with the plan, or whatever it is I say. Dan is always right. What a nightmare. I'm glad that he's always right, but it just makes me sad. Ian said 9. I'll come right back to you, Ian. And I'm supposed to do a Haley's joke an hour ago. Let's go into here really quickly. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to add another class called smaller meal, right? And this is actually going to be the thing that we store in our room database, right? So that we can just keep it nice and easy. I'm going to take ID, stick it in there. I'm going to take this entity, stick it above it. So it's the same thing. We might have some conflicts there. And I'm going to get rid of primary key there. So smaller meal will simply have an ID and the... title somewhere. I'm going to add a function here that is meal detail extension function converts to smaller, and it's going to return a smaller meal. We're going to return this dot no smaller meal this dot ID this dot str name title tags meal. What is it called? I hate this data object. It's just called meal. Oh my god, stupid. Okay. So I've written an extension function on this class, the mealdb, called convert to smaller, so that we can take one of these types and turn it into one of these types. Nice and easy, right? So I'm going to go back to our detail screen let's this thing. We're going to... before we do save meal, oh, I need to change that, don't I? So, oh man, yeah, I need to change all that. Let's go through the database stuff and change all of the smaller meal details everywhere, just really quickly. Hopefully we can do this in time. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm rushing everyone. It's just I want to get this done. Disher database, none of this needs to be changed, but we do need to go into the Disher database and say now, no, you're not taking meal details anymore. You're taking smaller meal now as your data type. Small details got all the bits that we need. Room, yes, great. Disher DAO returns smaller meals, great. Okay, cool. Final bit, we need to go back to our detail view model. That was an awful noise I made. And we've got the meal now, but we need to convert it to a... smaller one. So you can see this was a type of meal. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. There, it was a type of meal to teal, but we're running the extension function convert to smaller, which makes it a smaller meal. And that can be saved in our database without any problems. Let's run that. I'm going to guarantee that this app is going to crash immediately because of this whole auto migration stuff that we're talking about, but we're not going to cover now. Whilst it's building, page 9. Quick. Page 9 for Ian. Everybody, just take a moment to relax. Settle in. 9 for Ian. The topic is age. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Here we go. Age. Knock, knock. Who's there? A little old lady. A little old lady who? I didn't know you could yodel. A little old lady who? That's it. I quit. No, I don't. Anyway, right, it's built. How's it not crashed? It will crash. I guarantee it. Right now it'll crash. Okay. I'll bite. Exception. Room cannot verify the data. Yes. Okay. So it did crash, but I'm handling the exception fine. So this is because, as I said before, I had an installation of the app on the phone just a second ago before we made some changes. It knew about one version of the database. I have now made changes to the database, and I'm trying to put it on top of each other. It doesn't know what the hell to do. So it says this message. It says the integrity of the data. It looks like you forgot to update the schema. You can do this by fixing the version number. Great. Useful. Okay? So if I just go back to... There's two things I could do. One, which I'm not going to do, I could just uninstall it from my phone right now. Uninstall the app, reinstall it. There's no problem. It's fine. It's because then there won't be two different versions of the database conflicting with each other. Or I can change this number to version 2, say this is a whole new version of the database, and rerun it. I'm pretty sure... Okay, I said that really confidently. I'm pretty sure this will fix it. If not, I'm going to uninstall this app. Beef. Beef and mustard. I'm an asshole. Okay. Yeah. A migration from 1 to 2 was required. This is what I'm talking about. This is the reason why myself and somebody else in the chat was complaining about migration, because it's a pain in the ass. I've changed the database. I thought that was a bit too easy. Changed the database, how it works, how it's laid out completely. I've just said version 2, and it's saying like, okay, how do you want me to migrate it? That's fine, but what I'm going to do is cheat the system. I'm going to go to, I'm going to change this back to version 1. Because I like version 1. I'm going to run it again, of course, which won't work. But then I'm going to uninstall the app, which, of course, will get rid of all the data of the app. And then I can rerun it. I can reinstall it. And we will have... What the hell is this app called again? Disher. App info. Storage. In fact, you know what? Full on uninstall. Full on install. Gets rid of everything. Gets rid of all the data from Disher. Don't worry about it. Rethrow it on the phone. Now it'll work. I put €5 on it. That this works. Beef. Okay, so now we've reinstalled it. The old version of the database that sort of doesn't work now is gone. It was deleted when it got uninstalled. Now new version 1 is in. And this is the reason that migrations are really important. Huzzah, it worked. Awesome. Migrations are really important, but we'll cover that next video because I have 3 minutes and I want to show you this. Okay, beef and mustard. Inside of the details view model, before we presented the meal, we saved it into our database. But how can I prove that? How can I see that that meal is in the database? Android Studio recently, I don't think it was recently, I think it was like a year ago, gave us this app inspection tool at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. The little guy with the hat. Okay. If I click select process and pick Disher, let it figure its life out a little bit, it comes with a database inspector, which never happened before. But now, if I want, usually when I had to query the database, if things got saved correctly, I had to write more code to check that the database, write more DAO functions to check the database had what in it I thought it had. Now, I can go to this database inspector. I'm acting like this is a new thing. I'm pretty sure this has been around for like a full year, but it's brilliant and it's excellent. Databases. On the left, you can see all of my databases. I only have one. Remember what we called our database? In fact, let's just connect all the dots. Database module, we called it Disher Database. Disher Database, okay? You can see here, Disher Database, this one right here. I don't know if you can see that because it might be a bit zoomed out, but it says Disher Database. So that's our database. And inside that database, we have some tables. Remember I explained we had many tables. There's one here called meal details. So if I just go back to the smaller meal here, it was called meal details. There it is. If I open that up, right? We can't see much. We can see the different types of columns that are there, but if I double click it, you can see what's in the database. And thank you again to Dan. Making the smaller object is definitely better in this case. We have our meal ID and we have the title from this smaller data object that we saved. It might have been better to, you know, put more, well, it definitely would have been better to put more information in this that we wanted to save, a database kind of model, if you like. But for now, just to get this working, we have title and meal. Let's just go back and add another thing to the database, and you can see this change in real time. I'm going to click beef bourguignon and click it. Beef bourguignon. And I thought that would update, actually. Update? Okay, it did. I've got to click live updates. I'm clicking live update. But there you can see beef bourguignon has been added. I'll go back and I'll go to, let's go to chicken. Chick-fil-A sandwich. You can see Chick-fil-A sandwich jumped in immediately. So I have a database inspector so I can inspect the contents of the database. That's working. It's working. The room database is working. We made it work. It's awesome. And that's, I think, it's a bit annoying. I'm probably going to have to call it there because that's 2 hours. Should I keep going a little bit? What are people feeling like? How are people feeling? Maybe I'll just go for half an hour more. Let me just take a moment to address some personal messages. Just give me 2 seconds. See if there's anything urgent. Okay, no, nothing urgent. Nothing urgent. We can come to those in a second. Just to you, the chat. Hi, how you doing? Name's Ben. How you doing? How are you feeling? Are you tired? Are you done with this? Are we good for today? I can probably go a little bit longer. Maybe it's worth wiring up this heart, actually. You know what? Screw it. Wiring up the heart. Wiring up the heart. If you're bored or if you're a consistent person that comes to these streams and you don't have time, let me know. Maybe we'll chuck it in there. But for now, I might just keep going. Sam's waving. Sam, are you going? Ta-ta, Sam. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you greatly. I hope you have a wonderful evening or rest of the evening. I'm going to take a sip of water. This has been fun, though. We set up room as well. Realm also has a... Zeus. Realm. Now, actually, I used to be a big hater of Realm. And actually, I don't know why, but we use Realm, and Realm is nice. Realm works. Realm's cool. Sam says, thanks for the content. See you. Yeah, thank you, Sam. Have a good evening, or a good whatever time of day it is, wherever you are. Let's wire up this heart button. I'm going to use this smaller meal thing, and we're just going to basically connect up this heart thing, and then we'll be done, right? For now, I think. Okay, so instead of meals getting added when the meal gets grabbed, we can get rid of that code now, and instead we can add to the detail view model the same functionality but in a different function. Fun. Save to favorites, something like that. I don't know. Meal. We'll just do the ID or something because I think we can get the meal from elsewhere. So save to favorites, and in here we'll trigger viewModelScope.launch because we're triggering a suspend function. We're going to do DAO. Oh no, yeah, this is me not wiring it up properly in the MVVM stack either. I should do this in the repository layer. I'm going to do it in this dirty fashion now in the view model, but we're going to change it next video because this is not okay. This is not okay. DAO, save meal, and I need to make sure I get the meal before we do that. Meal. In fact, you know what? What do I already have? Like in the view, details screen. I already have the meal, the single dish. So I might as well just pass the whole thing down. It's a bit wasteful, but I don't care. View model dot save to favorites, and I'm going to pass it, which is the meal detail. So I'm going to change this to be meal detail. Meal detail. Something like that, right? So instead I pass it the meal detail, and why is that? Okay, that's better. I've also formatted there with Option Command L because that was just weird. So I pass the meal detail, and then I save to database. And remember, we want to do meal details for some reason. S, because I got fat fingers. Dot convert to smaller, which is going to convert it to the type that our database can use. Right? Questions have come in. I did use Realm with Java, so was Pain. I'm sure Kotlin would have improved things a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I still have conflicting feelings about Realm because I really like Room, and I've used Room a lot more than I've used Realm. So again, it's an experience thing, but I have to remind myself that like Realm is good. Realm is a good option, especially it's what what's the word? No, it's no SQL. There's a better word for it. I can't remember what it is. An object mapping database. You know, like a file, like real-time DB. I can't remember the words. My mind is almost mush. But yeah, it is a viable option. So I shouldn't slander it. And you know, I just like Room better. I don't know. Marion, hello, Marion. I hope you're doing all right. How are you this fine day or evening? Does the view model scope run on the IO thread? Oh, good question. So view model scope, I think it runs off the main thread at least. If I click into it, it runs on the main thread. Apparently, yeah, it runs on the main thread, but it's like it doesn't block the UI. So runs on the main thread, but doesn't block the UI. Does that satisfy as an answer? Main immediate. Tell me more about immediate. Dispatcher that executes coroutines immediately. Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Dispatcher's main. Let's have a look at main, just to be sure. A coroutine dispatcher that's confined to the main thread operating the UI objects. This dispatcher can be used either directly or from the main scope. Dispatcher is single-threaded. Usually such dispatcher is single-threaded. Yeah, okay, so it runs on the main thread, main dispatcher. There's probably better information than that. Probably is, but at this point my brain is a bit of a mess. But what I know is that I use view model scope launch like this to trigger a coroutine that doesn't block my UI, but also has access to like you know, these state variables that I can pass back to the UI. Hello from Sultanate of Oman. Hello to you, Najim. Apologies if I'm butchering these names. Zeus just yells ORM. And then Marion says, but if you, for example, like write like 1,000 times in room in a for loop, won't that block the UI thread? Should we try it? Let's try it. This is a terrible idea. Not with capitals. Let's try it. Marion, we're going to just try it because there's no better thing than to try it. For I in 0 to 1,000. Who cares? Stick it in here. Okay. I opened up something I shouldn't have done. Okay, so now I'm doing object relational mapping. Thank you, Ian and Zeus. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for realm. I should stop. I'm going to stop streaming soon because my brain is not functioning. Zeus, no, it won't, as coroutine is not a thread. Yeah, coroutine. That's the thing that's very important to remember, isn't it? That I always forget. Coroutines does not equal thread. Coroutines is... It's a pool of threads. It accesses a pool of threads. There's some clever words. I'm just not going to butcher it. Realm is not an ORM. So hidden. Hello, good sir. The wonderfully famous. Thank you for coming to the live stream. We're just wrapping up at the moment. I'm getting absolutely butchered here with some questions, so it's not good. And I'm wearing a stupid hat because we went over 3K, and I'm very happy. Realm is not an ORM. Could you tell us a bit more? I thought that was the word I was looking for, ORM, but maybe it's not. We're just trying to trigger this suspend. Save meal 1,000 times in our view model scope. Let's just see what happens. If it blocks up the thread or what it does, I think it'll probably crash. We're gonna just have a play. We're gonna have a little play. Yeah, right. Zweden is quite a big character in the Android dev community. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If you've got any input, please let me know. Let's have a look at the database inspector. So the UI didn't get blocked there. Oh wait, it's because I haven't triggered the button. Okay, so button trigger now. Oh yeah, it ate death. Here we go. What killed it? Unique constraint. Oh right, because I was inserting a field that was already existing in the database, so we haven't captured that exception. So okay, that's not a great example. Hang on, just checking chat. Realm's object-oriented data model is simple to learn, doesn't need an ORM. Ian, I like that. Ian, good job, buddy. Room is an ORM. And Realm is not. Realm has its own core, and it is not relational internally. Okay. I'm afraid I'm well out of my depths at this point. Realm, Room, ORMs, all that kind of stuff. In all I'm pitching here, Room, SQL, Realm, not. I don't know if that's useful to anyone at all. But yeah, the thread above was about like, you know, Realm, Room. I'm a fan of both. Like I don't have a preference in either way. Both are brilliant. Both have different use cases. Oh, sick. Okay, here we're getting some help from the absolute professional here. So yeah, it's because I need to add a conflicting strategy or on conflict strategy, whatever it's called. On conflict strategy. Is it not on conflict replace, something like that? Is that the one? Yeah, no, maybe. I think that's right. Yeah, that's pretty much what you wrote. On conflict strategy though. Strategy's missing. I wonder if that's I think it's the same thing. It's all good. So we'll run it again and we'll see what happens now. So it's gonna try and it's gonna overwrite that item in the database again, so we can at least see if our coroutines coding in flows here as well. Damn. Okay. I've got all the famous people here. This is bananas. Hi folks. I'm big fans of both of you, so thanks for being here. Yeah, no, that's perfect, Sweden. You nailed it. It's great. Right. Let's just see this. We're just playing around. I can't even remember why now. We're playing around, triggering this this DAO function, save meal, to happen 1,000 times and see what happens to the poor phone. So we're in, and I'm going to hit the heart button, which triggers this function. Heart. The UI still functioning. Everything seems all right. So, yeah, famous. Vivek saying famous people here too. This is mad. I don't know. I got here from Reddit and heard Realm. All right, yeah. So for a bit of context, people that were here on earlier in the stream were basically trying to help me get over 3K. So bless them and thank you for coming. I'm sorry about this. I need to wrap up this live stream as well because it's been happening like 2 hours and my brain has just turned to mush. I'm just churning potatoes out. Florian telling kids to calm down. You're right. Hey Florian, do you want a joke? We do jokes here on this live stream, and I'd be honored to tell you and Sweden a joke. In fact, Coding in Flow or Sweden, pick a number from 1 to 280. Just 1 to 280. Just say it. It's a page number. I'll read you a joke from this awful joke book. Do it now, if you want to. Otherwise, I'm just going to read you a joke anyway, because this is my stream. 280? All right. Florian's participating. Let's do it. 280. I have to check now that there is 280 pages. There is. We're getting right to the end there. All right. Here's your joke. And then 234. Why not? Here we go. Get comfortable. Get cozy, everyone. And I'm going to end the stream after this because I'm knackered and my brain is a mess. For the wonderful Coding in Flow, I have the privilege of reading you a joke about the topic of witches. Witches, or Hexe in German. Here we go. I'm just going to pick one and it's going to be bad. Okay. Here we go. What do you call two witches sharing a room? Broommates. Broommates. That's the kind of quality you can expect from this awful joke book. But that's the kind of quality you could expect from this stream as well. It's a reflection of this stream. And Sweden for 234. Here we go. Again, it'd be my honor to read you a joke. I'm glad you're here. Let me zoom out so we can get this stupid donut hat in shot. Celebrating 3K subs. Here we go. For Sweden, the topic is shopping. Exciting times. Shopping. And again, I'm not going to pre-read it. I'm just going to read the top one here. It's probably going to be awful. Let's get that crash zoom again. A man goes into a newsagent's, so that's like a kiosk, and asks, "Do you keep stationery here?" "No," replies the sales assistant. "Sometimes I move about a bit." That's really good. Oh, I like that one. Do you keep stationery here? Okay, that was both of those were actually quite good. I think Coding in Flow and Zoed, and you both just won the game of jokes, and that's it. We can never live stream again because it doesn't get better than that. So anyway, let me just hit the chat a little bit. The last app on Android I have been created, it was using Java from my BTech project and TRC research. I don't know what TRC research is, but it sounds fun. And I hope you were successful with that project. Your Twitter handle, if you're uncomfortable, at Zeus Almighty. Oh, right. Zeus, post your Twitter handle, son. And yeah, in fact, do you know what? Let's wrap this thing up because, as I said, my brain's turned to mush. I'm terrified now that other real people that actually do better Android dev and better videos are actually turning up in this stream. And I've got everything I needed out of this stream. I've got 3K subs now. I'm kind of a big deal now. Kind of a big deal. No, please, I'm being an asshole. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. It was an absolute pleasure. It's really stupid of me, actually, to wrap up when I have the most viewers in one go that I've had. But I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, Florian says, my mum told me someone that he... Hang on. My mum told someone that he used the same shampoo for over 10 years, and her friend asked her how one package lasts that long. Reminded me of the joke. I'm going to go and give that a second read. My mum told someone that he used the same shampoo for over 10 years, and her friend asked her how one package lasts that long. How she used the same shampoo for over 10 years. I don't get it. I'm struggling. It's reminding me of that joke. Do you know what? I'm just admitting defeat. I don't get it. Can you? She used. Right, let's try it one more. My mum told someone that she used the same shampoo for over 10 years, and her friend asked her how one package lasts that long. I don't get it. I'm a fucking idiot. Well, obviously she bought more than one package. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, that joke is very accessible for all the normal people. I'm an idiot, and yeah. Thank you, Coding and Flow. I appreciate you greatly. I'm embarrassed, frankly, that my brain just didn't function. And yeah, it's quite late, Ben. Quite late for Ben. Thank you all. Yeah, save me with excuses. I do appreciate that. Well, it's not a joke. It's a real story. Okay, now Florian's coming in here and messing around with my brain. Pulling at cables. I can't handle it. Same brand, different package. Tasty. At this point, I'm going to sign off because it's a joke, don't worry. I'm at the point now where I'm just like floating above this and just going, whoa, what is going on? What is happening? And Vivek's asking for your Twitter handle, Zeus. Bye, Coding Flow. Bye, Florian. Sorry for being a complete wet mess in front of you. In fact, with that, everybody, I'm going to sign off from this video. It's been part 4. Thank you all for coming. I will see you in part 5. Please remember that if you want me to do a specific feature, of course, I have to finish off the room stuff next video, but you can go to the repository, which is in the description down below for Disher. Disher is the repository we're working on, and just add an issue to the issue tracker in there. So today we obviously did we started doing Dan's suggestion here of local persistence and caching. Thank you again, Dan, for giving me video content. But of course, if you want your suggestion, your feature, your bug fix, whatever it is, something for us to work on together in these video streams, then post it in those issues there. Other than that, thank you for being here. Thank you again for being a subscriber if you are. I really appreciate you all being here and staying this long. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about the jokes at the end and my brain just not being able to parse them. I have a JSON parser in my brain for jokes, and it just had a null pointer exception error. I don't know. Stop it, Ben. Give up now. Give up. Thank you, Vivek. Thank you, Louis. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Zeus. Thank you, Zoedin. Thank you, Coding and Flow. 2 big dogs in the industry. Big fan of that. Thank you, Dan. I think I said that already. Thank you all for being here. Sorry if I've forgotten any names, but I appreciate you all. Have a beautiful evening. Of course, if you haven't already, this is my pitch, my little plug. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. Feel free to check out my other videos, my static videos. The one I just released like the other day, Vim tips. I'm a big Vim user. I like to do silly, funny intros. So if you're not interested in Vim at all, maybe at least check out the first like 2 minutes of the video. Hopefully it'll put a smile on your face. Otherwise, check out my channel. I've been Ben. If you need any help, reach out to me on Twitter at Ben_Kadel. Have a beautiful evening. I love and appreciate you all. And thanks for coming, and have just a great night. I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.